Sorry I'm late, but I'm here now. Good morning, good morning. It's the Last Minute Laura Show. Good morning, good morning. Hello. Hi everybody, welcome back to the Last Minute Laura Morning Show. I am feeling pretty excited to tell you about the sweater that I am holding because it is my grandmother, who's been passed for 20 years already. This is the sweater, the first sweater that she made. I'm gonna wait until everybody gets into the chat this morning before I go through it. I wanted to look at the stitches with you and look at the assembly and just sort of go through this beautiful sweater that my grandma made for my grandpa 60 years ago, I would say. Yeah, about 60 years ago she would have made this for my grandpa. So it's a 60-year-old, I don't even know the fiber, sweater. Could be anything. I feel like it's acrylic. But anyway, I'm going to go through that with you later and show. This is the color of my grandpa's eyes. That's why it's that color. But let me say hello to everybody in the chat this morning. If you're new here, this is the Last Minute Laura Morning Show. It's got a little bit of anxiety going through it right now, but I feel like I want to change the title from Anxiety is Tough but Crochet is Fun to Come See All the Things My Grandma Made. I think that'll be a nice title instead, don't you think? Where's the save? Oh, there it is, save. Yeah, hold on. Just hold on, we're going home. Okay, let me say hello to everyone in the chat first before we get started for today. Candace, can't wait to see what today holds in store for us. Always a great time here, Candace. I'm glad to have you. I hope you're feeling better today. Frida, good morning. Nice to see you as well. Yes, make a coffee. Good idea. Coffee and Swedish gingerbread cookies. Delicious. Frida, good morning, by the way. Mary Grace, good morning. Diane. Deanne is how I say it, right? Deanne, hello all. What's on the agenda for today? We're going to go through a whole bunch of handmaids that my grandma made, and I'm going to talk about my grandma a little bit, and then we'll work on some granny squares a little bit later in the show. Good morning, good morning. Hello, Sid, good morning. Carolina, good morning. Nice to have you here this morning. I need to finish up the baby pants tester, though. You don't need to finish it if you don't want to. Totally, if you've lost interest in it, that's totally okay. I am cool with that. Unless you need baby pants for a reason, then I would say, yeah, definitely finish it. But I have the new pattern written out now for the one that I think is more successful. The flat lay is fine, but I like the worked in the round really did come out really well. You know what? I slept last night. I'm a real person today. You know why you slept last night? Because you had all of us to hang out with before bed. So by the time you went to bed, you were exhausted. That's what I think. But does that mean your stomach is feeling better? Same question, Mary Grace. Hey, Mary Grace, good morning. And oh my god, that's so exciting, isn't it? To see this sweater, I'm excited to show it to you. The color, I know, right? It's such a nice blue. Howdy from Nashville. Hello, Slap-a-Troll. I appreciate your username. And if you stick around, I'll give you a wrench to do just that. Who else is in here this morning? Did I get everybody? Well, as you come in, definitely come on into the chat and let me know you're here so I can say hello. Let me switch to live chat instead of talk chat, so that I can see what's going on. I agree, all the positive vibes lulled me to sleep. The positive vibes, the talk of anxiety, which, by the way, has not gone away. All night last night, I would wake up feeling like I was having a heart attack. Obviously, I'm not having a heart attack, but, you know. DK, hi Laura, hi chat, I'm crocheting stockings for the tree. I'm crocheting stockings for the tree as well. Nope, I'm crocheting stockings for the fireplace. Morning, Rebecca. Nice to see you this morning. Okay, I think we should just jump right into it. I have a whole bunch of things that I collected from around the house. Not all of her things that she handmade because there are just far too many to count. Like, this house is very much completely touched by my grandma. Like, all of the couches that are from before she passed away have all been reupholstered by her. All of the chairs in the kitchen have been reupholstered by her. All of the curtains in the house are handmade curtains, and they're not just like straight up and down curtains. They're like these 70s, there's like 2 layers to the curtains. The curtain part that's like up high and it's like this bushy fabric, and then the curtains that fall down. So did you make an appointment with the doctor about your heart? I haven't yet, because my doctor's closed on Wednesdays, so today is the day that I have to make that appointment. But my doctor's pretty chill. If I call and say I've been having panic attacks, I'm not going to have to wait for an appointment. She'll just say, like, okay, I'll send the prescription out and you can go to the pharmacy. So my doctor's pretty chill in that way. I'm not going to have like a full doctor's appointment in order to get my panic pills back. And then I'll feel better and less panicky. Go lie down. I'm not holding you. I have no food. I have nothing for you. Go on. Go lie down. Go. Go. Let's do that then, Laura. Let's do what then? Well, the positive vibe of the community. Yes, definitely. Let's do that then, Laura. Yeah, to call the doctor right now? No. My doctor doesn't open until 10, first of all. And second of all, they close silly early. It's like, I think she's like headed towards retiree. And she's not retiring yet, but it's like she's making it like, so she only has to work very short days and only a few days a week, which is not ideal at this point in my life, but at the same time, usually it's not a big deal. But yes. I do have to call today. By the way, for those of you who are new, I don't think we have any new people in the chat just yet today, but I'm saying it for those of you watching after the fact, because I know most of the views of these live streams happen not while we're live, so I'm guessing that you're hanging out here later in the afternoon or tomorrow. Either way, doesn't matter. You're welcome here. Glad to have you. If you are someone who's lurking after the fact, I would love for you to leave a comment on the stream so that I can say hi. Glad to have you watching, because I can't interact live with you if you're not here now. But we get together Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. If for some reason I'm busy in the morning, then we do 1 p.m. till 5 p.m. But we do 4-hour streams 4 times a week. So it's good for hanging out, for getting your stuff done, for cleaning your house or organizing, and hanging out with us while you do so. It's also great for when you're crafting. Just nice to hang out and craft with a group of people. Great community, and we'd love for you to join. So definitely subscribe, and if you can, click the like button on the video when you come in, or before you leave, just click the like button. It really helps the channel, and I'd really appreciate it. All right. Let's jump into the handmaids, shall we? Starting with this silly little wall hanging that sits in the house that for my entire childhood I thought, until I took it down today actually, what I thought this was a face. I thought this was like the head of a mouse or something, and it was like a dressed up mouse. But this is a little sheep. It's a little girl holding a sheep. But I thought this was the face of whoever is it. Like, I thought it was like this. I thought that was her face. But it's actually a little girl holding a sheep. So now we know. So 1978. There's a lot of things that you're going to see that are very 1970s. But this is a handmade wall hanging. Is it made from a... Yes, it is. It's an embroidery hoop with a bunch of lace. Let me show you it up close so you can see the cute little lace that she used on this cute little Mary and her little lamb. And then she used fabric for the outer bits. So cute. Cute wall hangings. I love these. I think these are so cute. I mean, if it was me, I would probably just take away the lamb so that you could tell it's just a little girl. But she has the lamb. The lamb is not secured, and never has been. Just tucked under the arm, and it hangs on a wall. It hangs like when you go down a set of stairs, you're facing it. Isn't that cute? Good morning from Saskatchewan. How's Saskatchewan, Dawnine? Nice to see you. Good morning, and welcome to Southern Ontario. That's where I'm at. So there's the first thing that my grandma made, and that was definitely made in the 70s, of course. Another thing, also probably made in the 70s, is this tissue box cover. Look at how cute this is. The tissues come out of the chimney. How cute is that? It's just like a quilted, like a tea cozy kind of thing, but it goes over the over the tissues, and then the little chimney. Is that not the cutest thing? It's just like little stuff that makes the house home. You know what I mean? Like it's totally unnecessary, but how adorable is that just to have on the shelf? So when I found this, I was like, I didn't realize that I like this style of thing. Look at a thing I bought from the thrift store, okay? So you'll see this thing I bought from the thrift store, and this is handmade by my grandma. I wonder where I got this from. I wonder where I got an appreciation for this pink and floral box. I wonder how this was something that I found at the thrift store and felt connected to. This is someone else made this. Maybe my grandma made it, but I don't know. But this was at a thrift store. And I was like, it's perfect, everything I need. And it's currently holding some zinnias that were drying out so I can collect seeds. But it very much fits in here. Like, come on, that looks like the same thing. That is like the same energy. It has all the same vibes. So I thought that was really funny. When I found that one this morning, I was like, I have something that is all of that somehow else, and this is that. Learning about your psychology through thrifting. Yeah, right? I'm like, oh, it turns out my grandma and I had good, well, it turns out my grandma's influence on me is deeper than I thought, because I saw it and went, it's beautiful, and then I came here and I was like, it's might as well be here already. It's from here, but I love this little Kleenex box, so I feel like that would be a really cute project to try and recreate, don't you think? You could completely crochet something like that. You think so, Deanne? Sid, very true. See what things you're unconsciously drawn to. Yeah, makes sense, right? Okay, another one. This one I think is really cool because it's like multiple, I don't know, here, I'll show you it. Look at this. It's a handmade, it's not garlic or onions. It's handmade from paper. This is all paper. And she made these little individual onions, and then she braided them together like an onion braid and put a bow. Is that not so cute? This hangs in the kitchen. It's just a decoration for in the kitchen. But isn't that adorable? It looks like an onion braid. I think it's the cutest thing ever. And she made it. She just made it because she wanted to make it. But look at how cute it is. It just hangs on the wall in the kitchen like a onion braid or a garlic braid. Mary Grace, bruh. Hey, Mary Grace. Galactic, good morning. Good morning, Galactic. I haven't been in a while, so you don't know this already, but I have a job interview. Well done, Mayo. That's awesome. Your grandma was so freaking talented. That's so cute. I know, I'm obsessed with this one. Every time I see it in the kitchen, I'm like, it's so perfect. It's so cute. It's so Martha Stewart, you know? So there's a very cute one. BRB, wonky weather has me coughing up post-nasal drip. Delicious. Time for some good herbal tea. Agreed. Definitely go get some. I have a bit too many wooden stools and pedestals in pine. What does that say about me? What's a bit too many? Do you have like 35 stools, or do you have like 5 stools? Because if you have like 5, you could just put them in the corners of your house and put something on top of them. Here is another one of those wall hangings that she made. This one is not with hand sewn. This one is with fake flowers. But same kind of idea. I think this one might be like when they have fall decorations, this one goes up. But it is a bouquet of flowers still. She's got the crisp lace on the sides, and then the nice brown fabric, and then look at this quilting fabric in the background. Is that not cute? Gosh, I love this type of decoration. This stuff is like, this is what gets me. I like this silly stuff. Like, I know it's simple, and I know it's like, it's obviously handmade, but at the same time, I like I think it's so cute. I think it could probably use a steam, like I could steam the bows to make them open back up, because this was stored flat for some time. But I think with the steam to the bows, just to give it a little bit more life, this thing would be like brand new. And what a cool autumn decoration, don't you think? I like that one too. We haven't even gotten to my favorite things yet though, so here's one that I like and that I want to recreate because it's so simple. It's just a garbage bag or a garbage bin, but she added these like cute little pleated bits around the edge, and the curtains in the bathroom that uses this are the same as this. So the curtains are like this with bows on them like that. So the garbage can is also like that with bows on it. And I just thought that's so sweet. Isn't that, this is not a garbage can in there though. It's like what holds the, it holds the hand towels. So it's like hand towels are rolled up in here. But I think it's just so cute. It's a simple thing to add, but I feel like it makes it so personalized. Like, you can't buy that, you know? It makes it a little jazzier to me. I really like this. This one's my fave. Let me see. The 70s. Oh, big yawn. The 70s were earth tones. 80s are more dusty rose, dusty light blue, burgundy, and dusty mint. Lots of floral lace and sumptuous poofy sleeves and lace. I remember making items like these in the pre-interwebs. Good evening from Australia. Hey there, Kathy. Nice to see you this morning. And now I have 3. I have resisted buying like 50, one with a flower on it and one that has definitely been used when painting, and a tiny one. The 2 latest are used as movable tables. I think that that is a very reasonable amount of stools. Take it from me. Also, I wanted to show you a picture of me as a little one in a handmade outfit that my grandma made, because it's really cute, and my family used to do like portraits. So here's babe. I'm trying to get it so you can see without the glare of the light. Where can I give you? There. Hold on. Baby Laura with my little baby white hairs, and look at this dress. How cute is it? And a little hat that matches. Sorry about the glare. Look at how cute I was. Oh, look at how cute the outfit is. Love it. So she made that outfit as well. She made a lot of our outfits when we were little. Like, she made a lot of our like photograph outfits, you know? I wanted to show you how white my hair was also, because I say it a lot, but I think this picture shows it really well. This is my siblings and I when we were very little. And this one right here is me. Look at how white my hair was. It was like almost no blonde to it. It was like very white. My little sister too. But she and I got this very white hair. It obviously didn't last, but I had very pale hair when I was little. Okay, I want to do a quick switch over to some Oh, is that the Cookie Monster? Yes, it is. Blue hat with a flower reminds me of another one you wore. Hint, hint. No wonder you like it. I still have the hat, Candace. Oh, Cookie Monster, totally. I don't like clutter, so I try not to have too much furniture. I also hate dusting, so I very rarely have decorative items. That's fair. That's fair. This is unrelated, but I wanted you to see it because when I was walking around looking for things my grandma made, I found one of my grandpa's taxidermy things. This is from Peru in 2005. Look at all of them. I'm sorry about the glare again, but I just want you to see. Look at all these butterflies. Aren't they cool? There. Oh, there's a good angle. Aren't they cool? Just like displayed butterflies. I really like these things. These are the things that I like. Dead things in a box. Dead things in a box. I also wanted to show you a picture of my grandma when she was young, because they used to do this type of portrait, and I think that she was very beautiful. Sorry, I'm trying to find a way to make it work without glare, but there is no... Oh, there, that works, right? You can see her now. Dawn, wow, right? Not that I don't have decorative items, but they're usually used for something. Right, like you can have yarn on display, but you're going to use it. Oh, and jewelry, totally. But yeah, this is a picture of my grandma when she graduated. So she would have been 19 here. No, you think so, Frida? Wait. Hold on, let me get it so that we're equally distant away. I don't know, I don't think it. I don't think we look alike, really. How about my eyebrow? Maybe our eyebrow looks alike. I got my dad's nose, so it's different. You think the eyes? Really? That's very special to me. I'm trying to... She had brown eyes, though. But shape-wise? Thanks. That makes me feel special. To look like her is a good thing. She's not even wearing any makeup. Like, she doesn't have mascara on or eyeliner. But she's like 19 in this photo. She doesn't look 19 to me. That doesn't look like a 19-year-old, you know? Anyway. Her name again? Patricia. Patricia. And my name is Laura Patricia, so there we go. Kathy, Frida, I have decluttered and feel so free with less. I am a clutter squirrel. Clutter bug. There's like a clutter and then animal, right? Clutter bug? Clutter, I'm like a squirrel. Also, I found a picture of my mama when she graduated university, and I think this is such a beautiful photo of her, and I feel like I really want you guys to see it, because I tell you her hair was red, right? But like, look at how red her hair was. Oh gosh, I just think she's so beautiful in this photo. And it looks like she's going like this. You know? Looking up. Laura, do what feels right for you. Agreed. Being a clutter bug. But this is my mama. My beautiful mama. When she graduated. I'm trying to get it. I hate the glare. I feel like I have to show it to you like on the side. Oh, the hair. She's so beautiful. Don't you think? I know. I think the hair looks so beautiful like that. And it looks like her hair's long. You could see it goes way back behind her back. But so red. Isn't it just... There. Isn't it just so red? I wish my hair came out red like that. Do I look like her? Wait, hold on. Let's both turn the way that we're turned, and I'll look. Do we look alike? I wish I looked like her. I feel like I look more like my dad. But, oh, she's so pretty. And she was already with my dad for like 5 years at this point. You got her cheeks, you think? I guess I do have that line. Wait. Look, it's not a dimple. Like this line. You look a lot like her, but more like your grandmother. Really? Okay, let's look at both of the matriarchs and see where I fit. Gotta get the light not hitting them. I like that they're both looking the same way. I'm glad that you said that, though. That makes me feel nice to think that I look like her. That I look like either of them, really. I'm very happy about that. How old is your mom? I don't think she's... Is she 60? Hold on. No, she's not 60 yet. No, so she's not 60 yet. I don't know where she's at, but she's not 60 yet. Patricia, pretty. I think so too. MLM grandma. Yep, mix those two and you get you. Frida, that's awesome. That makes me feel really good, actually. Because those are both beautiful women in my life. Well, my grandma's not really in my life anymore, but she's in my heart, so, you know. I look like my mom and my dad somehow. I have the color of my mom's eyes, the shape of my dad's, my face is the same shape as my mom, and I have my dad's neck. Well, I'm definitely not shaped like either of these people. My mom and my grandma were both very petite, like 5'2", 5'3". I think my mom might be 5'4", but small, they're small, and I'm like 5'7", and I have broad hips and broad shoulders. I'm just significantly larger as a human being than my mom, and real Celtic coloring. Yeah, my mom does. My grandma doesn't. She had black hair and brown eyes. Like, I know this is in sepia tone, but her hair was black, and she had brown eyes. And my mom came out with red hair and green eyes. And then I came out with white hair and blue eyes, and then it turned into brown hair with blue eyes. I have my father's mom's hair, dark with lots of gray. She never became totally gray. Interesting. Kathy, I'm 56. Well, then you're not 60. I'm 29. Okay, I have another photo I want to show you. This one, I wish it had me in it. It doesn't. But it has both of my siblings, my brother and my sister, and my grandma, so you can see her when she's older. Obviously in a handmade outfit. My sibling's so cute, and she's tending to her hibiscus. Is it even? I think it's a blurry photo. I don't think that it's not focusing. I think the photo's blurry. But anyway, she was really involved in our lives when we were kids, and there's lots of photos to show that. But he's wearing a handmade outfit, and so is she. Both handmade by my grandma, because when my parents would drop us off at the grandma and grandpa's house for an afternoon, we would end up with, oh yeah, wow, that hibiscus, and there's two of them there if you can see. The pink one is here and the red one is here. And this fence is 7 feet tall. So 5-ish, 5.5. She's 5'2", 5'3". So about 5 foot tall. Beautiful hibiscus though. Totally. She was a gardener. This is the garden I'm going to be planting this year, along this fence. The hibiscus is no longer there. Oh, you have such a wholesome family. You're blessed. I definitely am blessed. I miss her. I wish that we could have had her for longer, because she was a pretty magical human being. And it would have been nice to be able to share all that with you. I feel like I had another photo of her here. Oh, here it is. I have one more photo of her. This is when she's older. This is also in a handmade dress. This is at the front door of the house that I am currently living in. I'm so sorry about the glare. I'm trying to get it to focus so you can see her. There she is when she's older. And she made that dress. Hand sewn. Oh my god, that's you. No, you think? Let me see. Let's get her closer. Come on, camera, you could do it. Think that looks like me? Well, I guess that's where I'm headed. Just a different nose. Did you have a good conversation with Grandpa about her last night? No, he wasn't feeling well, so he ended up going to bed early. But this morning he did go get me the sweater she made. Okay, I have another thing that was handmade by her, of course. Everything is handmade by her. But this is the type of thing, you guys know I love this type of thing. This is the type of thing that I collect from thrift stores. Hand embroidered framed items. And you can see Patricia Petrie, that's my grandma. And this is a fully hand embroidered little bouquet. Isn't it pretty? I love this one. I love these things. Like, you guys know I collect these. I have like 5 or 6 of them already that I've collected from thrift stores. I just feel like they're so beautiful. And I'm wondering if I had seen these as a child and internalized them, and that's why when I see them at the thrift store, I'm like, I want that in my home. That's definitely possible. It's definitely a possibility. And I have one more picture to show you before I'm going to get into the sweater for this morning. Look at this one. I love this one also. Also handmade by her. This one's all done in French knots, like for hand embroidery. with just a little bit of flowers and color in there. I think it's so delicate and pretty. I love it. Definitely inherited the craft from her. DK, yes, I believe so. And I think, though, that not only did I inherit it, like, we're both creative minds, I think in addition to that, since any adult, when I was a child, saw that spark of creativity, and they connected it to my grandma, they fostered it in me, right? Because everyone was like, you're like your grandma, here, be like your grandma. So it's kind of like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Was I already going to be creative, or is my creativeness genetic, or is it a combination of the fact that everybody in our lives really loved how creative my grandma was, and when I had that spark, they let me pursue it often, and now this is something that I do. This is the kind of stuff that I really like. So yeah, that's all of the stuff I have right now to show you that my grandma made. There's more in this house. Like, I have more of them around like this, these pressed flower displays. I don't know what you'd call it, pressed flower pictures. We have a lot of these in the house, but I didn't take any more of those ones down. But I do have one more, and this one I think is the most exciting for all of us fiber people to look at, because it is a knitted sweater, a hand-knitted sweater made 60 years ago. That's, my grandpa said it's got to be more than 60 years old at this point, is what he said. So my grandma and grandpa were together since she was like 19, and he would have been, I don't know, 20 something, 22, 23, like that sort of age range. They were young, and they started a family right away, and my grandma, that's a cake, Frida, yes it is a cake. It's pineapple upside down cake that my mom made for us, and here, let me get this focus to happen. There you go, there's the pineapple side and the cherry, and then the cake side. I'll show you the cake side. It's a nice cake in there, and beautiful. So that's what I'm going to be snacking on while we hang out today. But first, before we do that, let me show you this sweater. So here it is, a beautiful hand-knitted blue sweater. Looks like you could buy it, like it's like perfect. Where is the 60 years of age? Ugh. That's what makes me think it's acrylic, because I don't think that a wool sweater would do this after 60 years. I don't know, but I feel like, I don't know. So let's go over some of the stuff that she did with this. Well, first I want to see what her seams look like. That's something I'm pretty interested in inspecting. Ooh, it looks like she did some kind of finishing seam on the inside. Let me have a look. Raglan style, I love it. Yes, it's beautiful, but look at the inner seams. It's like she's done something additional to them. They're not just sewn together. So that's interesting. And then it's got a ribbed bottom, just a 2x2 knit rib, which is awesome. Aha! A mistake. Not a real mistake, but look. The last rib isn't a 2x2. Doesn't blend seamlessly here, which I love, honestly. How does the seam look from the front? The seam looks like this from the front. Quality and practically perfect. Exactly, Dawn. And then the raglan connections here. I don't know. Is that 2 pieces sewn together? No, it can't be. Can it? That seems odd. Are the sleeves sewn on? That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's raglan shaped, but it kind of looks like maybe the things were sewn together like this. I can't tell. That would be a weird way to sew them together. Okay, let's see how the seams of the sleeve look. There's a hole in it. Is it a hole or just a missed stitch? Oh, it is a hole. I should fix that before I give it back to my grandpa. Because if he wears it with that hole. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is acrylic. It feels acrylic-y. She probably picked up stitches and then knit down. Okay, I can't tell what she did for the... But that's the thing, the inner sleeve seam also looks strange to me. I'm not a knitter, so I don't know if this is the way that it always looks. The neckline is also a 2x2 rib, but it's a raglan, yes. I just don't know if it was done how it was done. But isn't it pretty? I think they are sewn in the round raglan, have more visible increases. That's what I think too, right? Like these are not, it looks like there's like a piece that's sewn. Also, if you look here, do you see the yarn overs that are here? To me, that looks like sewing stitches. See them go all the way up? Like there's one, here and there. To me, that seems like sewing. Remember the inside looks like that. I don't know. I think it's sewn. The sleeves weren't done in the round. Yeah, well, the sleeves weren't done in the round, totally. The sleeves were done flat. Oh, right. If the sleeves were done flat, then it wouldn't have been... So that means she had to make a really weird shape to sew, a weird shape to end up sewing in to the sweater portion. Or was the sweater done in 4 pieces? Well, I guess I can find out. Are there seams? There are seams. So this sweater would have been done in 4 pieces. Good morning, getting ready to take the hubby for his back surgery. Good luck. Best of luck for that. Wanted to say hi and thank you so much for being here. Well, thank you so much for being here. And also, yes, good luck, thoughts and prayers, and all the good vibes to you and your husband. KM, ooh, this looks quite a bit like a 1950s vintage raglan I saw someone knitting. It was sewn on the raglan lines too. Huh, okay. So it's just raglan, it's a mock raglan? Because isn't that like done in the round, you know what I mean? Ew, if she did it in 4 pieces, that means it wasn't in the round. That means she had to turn and do purls. So she is a saint. Because she had to purl. Yes, her tension is spectacular, isn't it? It's all the same. Like, look at how... It's like a machine knitted thing, but this would have been knitted on 2 straight needles. There weren't connected needles yet when she was doing this. So this would have been 2 straight needles. It is totally. That tension is insane. And 60 years old. There's the back. It's beautiful though. Ugh. Nope, doesn't smell like anything memorable. The advantage is you don't have to hold everything on the needles. Oh, Fair Isle is in the round. Fair Isle. Yeah, those are raglans, right? The Fair Isle ones. That's like color work in the round. Is your grandma's first sweater? Yes, Maya, this is my grandma's first sweater that I was talking about. The first sweater she ever made for my grandpa anyway. She might have made sweaters prior, but that's the first one she made for my grandpa, and he still has it and still wears it in the winter. Frida, I made my husband a blue sweater too. It makes me want to make my husband a blue sweater. What a beautiful color, and such a good vibe, you know? Good night, back to sleep. Oh, bye, Kathy. 1:50 a.m. Yeah, you should definitely go back to sleep. Maya, it's so beautiful. I love the color. Me too. I think it's very beautiful. And hold on, did I miss anything? I think Fair Isle is usually just yoke sweaters, but I could be wrong. I don't knit. Oh, right. Raglan has the lines, right? Yoke is just round until you hit the armpit. I'm new to your live streams, but so thankful for them. My world has shrunk due to disability. I can't tell you what it means to have a community with a visit. I totally understand that. The pandemic has also made everybody's world shrink, so it's nice to be able to find people who have common interests where we could just sit and chat about things that we like talking about without people looking at you like you're from a different planet. Like, trying to figure out how this sweater was made would not entertain anyone in my IRL circle. Going through the stitches that she might have used and talking about it isn't interesting for people who aren't into yarny stuff. So it's really nice to have you guys, because then we can all just chat about yarny things and be excited about them. Speaking of being excited about yarny things, you guys should be heckin' proud of me, and I'm gonna tell you why. Oh, I told you why yesterday, didn't I? I finished the baby pants pattern. That's what it is. I finished the pants pattern for the babies. Did I show it to you? The baby pants pattern. It's finished, and I'm proud of myself for finishing it, because that means I'm ahead of the game. Fair Isle can be any kind of color work in the round, as I believe it, though types of jumpers like Icelandic Lapa Pesa are indeed colorwork jumpers with round yokes. Okay, cool. I hope it comes out beautifully. Amber, hi, by the way. And see, I've chosen a Fair Isle beanie for my hospital waiting project. I think that's a great idea. Requires a little bit of mental inclusivity because you have to look at your stitches and whatnot, but also not too big of a project so you don't end up overwhelmed with it. Know exactly what you mean. This live brightens my life so much. Oh, I love you guys. Thank you for saying these nice things, because I have heckin' panic anxiety that will not leave my body, and I don't have a way to manage it yet because I can't get a hold of my doctor until later. But still, it definitely helps to be able to chat with you guys and share things that we all like. It makes me feel really good. So I'm glad it helps you guys and makes you feel good too. Hold on, I've returned. I've dealt with my bag of dried dill while my tea was brewing. What do you mean you dealt with your bag of dried dill? What did you do with it? Did you just snort your bag of dried dill? Or did you put it in a smaller container with a lid? These are the questions that I ask. It's helped me develop somewhat of a schedule, and it helps me with my mental health too, and I love talking to y'all. Totally, it helps me with my schedule and mental health also, because now I have a set thing that happens in the mornings, which means it's easier for me to make a set thing to happen in the afternoons, aka filming and editing. I've been doing it a lot. Same, guys. Oh, I'm glad it helps you guys too. Make me feel good. Laura, you made me snort my coffee. My name is Contessa. Oh, that's beautiful. I don't know how to change it on here. Contessa. I can remember Contessa. Well, if you can't change it, if you can't figure out how to change it, we can remember Contessa. If I call you C, you can just reply with Contessa and I'll understand, and then it'll hit me soon enough. I remember most people's names. Sid, I love the throat coat. It's so tasty. Throat coat sounds like something I wouldn't like. Something that literally would coat the inside of my throat. I know that it would help with, like, upset throat, but I don't love that. Contessa, I think you need to find your YouTube channel settings. I changed my name too. Awesome. Contessa is so pretty, isn't it? It just feels like such a safe, comforting space. I think so too, Amber. I like it here because, I mean, once in a while we get a raid of randoms who are just, like, trolling, and such is life. But for the most part, yeah, it is a safe space. We just sort of hang out and chat and get to know each other. And, like, we do get to know each other. Like, I know an awful lot about a lot of you guys, and you guys know an awful lot about each other. Oh, I have one more thing I wanted to show. I actually have one more thing. Sorry, it was on the floor, so I didn't see it. Hey, Kim, good morning. So, kind of tastes like cinnamon to me. I love it. I don't like cinnamon things. I like cinnamon, but I don't like cinnamon things. Like, I don't like cinnamon candy. You know, the throat coat I had is licorice and slippery elm. Doesn't sound delicious. Licorice flavor is gross. With peace and love, please don't come for me. I know a lot A lot of you ladies who are in your 50s think black licorice is good. You're wrong, but I understand. It's fine that you like that. You're wrong, but it's okay that you like black licorice. It's just incorrect, because black licorice, yuck. Anyway, the throat coat had licorice and slippery elm. I've learned that I freaking love slippery elm. It has wonderful, smooth, sweet flavor. Oh, okay, slippery elm. There you go. Try to chew gum. It tells your primitive brain. Your brain thinks that if you're eating or munching, you're safe. Coping thing I learned. Ah, that's a good idea. Well, the gum is in the car. That is where we keep our gum, because I don't usually chew gum when I'm at home. It's like a out thing, but that's a good idea. It's actually really sweet. I don't like licorice either, but it's tasty. Nasty black licorice. Exactly, Candace. I like anise fennel flavor. Real licorice isn't what the candy tastes like. Well, did you just fall off of the bed? Did you guys see that? Thunder just rolled over and then he didn't know his bed ended. Did you fall off? Oh, jeez. Did you fall off your little bed? I'm sorry. You're so small. Who did that to you? Who made you so small that you could fall off of a bed? Did it wake you up? I'm so sorry. You're so small. Here. This will help. Now your nest is going to be a little bit more secure. There. Poor baby. Okay, the last thing that I want to show you that is a cool handmade thing is this. So my grandma didn't make this, but my grandpa's friend did. My grandpa said that he had this friend who worked down the street from him when he was working at a job in the city, and this person was a car repair guy, and while my grandpa was hanging out with him one day, he was cutting apart oil cans with like a pair of snips, and he was welding or soldering them together and cutting while they were talking. My grandpa said he hung out with him for like a couple hours, and in a couple hours he turned a few paint cans into this. This is a bunch, or paint cans, oil cans. This is made of oil cans that were soldered, cut and shaped, and soldered into a ship. Look at it. It's like a full ship made of oil cans. Like, what? And this person wasn't like an artist by trade. He was a mechanic. So this mechanic, when he had extra oil cans, he would turn them into things like this boat. Isn't it crazy? And listen. And it's sharp because it's made of cut oil cans. But isn't it neat? So bizarre. My grandpa I was like, oh, was he an artist? That's so magical. And he was like, no, he was a mechanic. But he had a lot of old oil cans because he was a mechanic. So he turned them into stuff. Gotta love folk art. Totally, right? My grandpa has a lot of folk art. I realized that's what it's called, by the way. Folk art. I didn't know that's what the theme was, but he has a lot. Like a lot of his wooden statue things are like nautical themed folk art items. Maya, cool, I love it. Me too, right? And Slinky, it's cool, right? He knew metal, sure did. And good morning, Slinky, by the way. And oh good, Contessa was able to change her name. Sid, it was a raglan shape knit in 4 pieces and sewn together. Crazy. Well, we can look at it again because it's very cool. Yes, it's a blue, I think, acrylic. It's got a 2x2 rib for the neck, a 2x2 rib for the wrists, and a 2x2 rib for the bottom. But it's a sewn sweater, so even though it appears like a raglan, it's not. It's sewn together. There's seams on the inside, and the sleeves are not worked in the round. There are seams at the bottom, so it appears like a raglan, but it is not one. Isn't that interesting? And look at the tension. Look at the beautiful tension. Perfect. I have a ship like that, but in wood and canvas. I have a naval-themed room. But that is a fold-over collar, right? Yes, it's folded over. It's a rolled over, Like, it's thick. It's 2 layers of 2x2 thick. Is it stitched down, or is it? No, it looks like it was done, like she did it while knitting. Like it was knitted into the shape, so she must have done something. Like it's not sewn down, rolled over. It's just magic. I don't know how to knit, so for me this is like, that's like a life's work is this type of thing for me in terms of knitting. I am not strong with knitting yet. But crochet, I can do crochet, which by the way I'm gonna start doing again. I'm gonna do another granny square, just a basic one. Oh, excuse me. Oh, that's why it looks so soft and cushiony. It could also look soft and cushiony because she made it 60 years ago, so it's been washed many times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slip stitch. 1, 2, 3. I wish I could show you. I've just finished the exact replica of that sweater. Really? Did you? That's so cool. That's crazy. Where did you find a pattern for it? I wonder if my grandma probably used a pattern. I don't know though. She was like an expert knitter. She made many sweaters over her time. But like, I don't know if she would have used a pattern. Maybe. 1 and 2. Laura, on the conversation train about your grandma, what's your favorite memory of her, if that's okay to share? Well, I don't know about my favorite memory, but one memory that I have that is a really good one is when she taught me to sew on her machine. So she tried to teach me all the parts of a sewing machine, and we sat down, and it was like the only place where I was going to sit down still for a little while. And she showed me how to use all of the parts of the machine, and then for, I don't know, it seemed like for a long time, I don't know how long it really was because I was a child, but it seemed like for a long time we sat in there together just learning. I was just asking questions about sewing, and she was just answering questions about sewing, and any time that I got the machine to screw up, which when you're starting to sew you can get that happens. She would just fix it and then let me go again. And we made a few little pieces of fabric that said Laura and Patricia, and just like we were, because she had an embroidery machine, so you could type in letters on it as well. So we were just doing our names and learning all the stitches and just making like a swatch of all the stitches. And it's just like a really good memory in my mind of that day, because I can't remember anyone else being anywhere near. Probably everyone was there. Like probably it was the whole family would have been like at their house, at this house. 1, 2, 3. But I can't remember anyone else being there, and it was just her and I, and we were just learning, and I can't remember her ever being irritated with me in that time. I think it was just like all soft and fuzzy, warm joy. That's kind of the remembering I have of that day. But I do have another fun memory. This was after she had a stroke. My grandma had type 1 diabetes, and she had to manage with insulin. But when she was originally diagnosed with diabetes, she was a kid, but that would have been in the 1940s. So it was a lot scarier to have diabetes back then than it is now. It's a lot more manageable with like automatic insulin pumps and like easier blood tests. It was like she had to prick her finger every day, and it was a whole thing. It was not great. And eventually she had a stroke, which can happen. And this was when I was a little kid still, but she was all there. Like she was just paralyzed. So she was paralyzed for her entire left side, which definitely would have broken her heart because she was a crafter and couldn't craft anymore. Anyway though, but her personality was still in there. Like it was hard for me to understand as a kid, and it took a while for me to understand that she wasn't, that her mind wasn't disabled, it was just her body, but it was hard for a kid to understand that. But once I understood it, it no longer scared me. Like, she was in a wheelchair, and she couldn't move any part of one side of her body. And but once I was no longer freaked out by that, because it was scary when you're a little kid, but once I was no longer freaked out by that, it was a fun thing that she had a wheelchair. So we would go, I've told this story before, but I really like it. I would go to Costco with my grandpa and my mom and my grandma and me. And my grandpa and my mom would go with the grocery cart and go grocery shopping. And my grandma and I would sit on her lap, or I would ride on the back of the wheelchair, like the old-fashioned wheelchairs that you have to push. I would hold on to the pushing things, do a few pushes, and then stand on it, you know, like a grocery cart, how you would do. And then we would ride around Costco and get as many samples as we wanted. And I didn't understand that people were seeing, like, an older lady who had had a stroke with a younger kid hanging out with her. Like, I didn't see what we were to other people, you know? I just saw how we were to us. So when we would go and get samples, my grandma would say, "Can we have another?" And no one's going to say no to a lady in a wheelchair. And we would take full advantage of the fact that she was stuck in a wheelchair, and we would get as many samples as we wanted from all the sample places in Costco. So much so that by the time we got to the checkout, usually when you go to Costco, you get a hot dog. Like, it's just like part of the Costco experience. My grandma and I would be full by the time we got to the hot dog part, so we would just have an ice cream. So it was like I got to eat all these tasty snacks with grandma. I got to have more than everyone else. Nobody else asked for seconds, and I didn't acknowledge or notice people giving me any side eye because I was like 10. So there was no guilt or shame or awkwardness around it. Like, now I would feel awkward doing that, obviously. But it was like, you know what? I imagine, like, in her head, she was like, I'm in a wheelchair. They're going to give it to me. Like, and we would have all this food, like, because Costco samples were a whole thing back in, like, I don't know, the late 90s. Costco samples weren't like now. It was like you could go there for lunch on samples. And and we did. And we would be too full to eat our hot dogs. And this happened, like, more than one time. Like, this is a running memory for me. And I don't know, it's just one of my best memories with her, because it's like, even though she was in her wheelchair and I understood that she couldn't talk the same and she couldn't walk, and just, it was difficult, it was like that was a way that we could both have fun together, where she didn't have to feel like she couldn't do something. Like, she was participating fully in the sample heist of Costco with me. Anyway, that's probably one of my favorites, because it's got food and it's got family. Those are the best memories for me. If there's food and family, they're going to stick in my mind for a long time. And I can just picture it, right? It's such a sweet memory, but super funny too. Yeah, those are the best ones, you know? Like, it's a sweet memory, but also we had a lot of fun while it was happening. And I liked that part of it. Now they give you samples that you can't eat there. You're told to eat it later once you leave. Ugh, no fun. Used to be more fun. Contessa, I nearly lost my son when he was stricken with type 1 at age 18. That's late. He's 29 now and well managed. Well, I'm glad that he's well managed, and I'm glad that he was born in this time period, because it's a lot easier to manage than it was 50 years ago. That's for sure. Like, my grandma had to give herself needles multiple times a day, and I feel like, I'm sure some people are still doing that, where they give themselves needles multiple times a day, but now, like, the people I know who have diabetes, they either have the automatic insulin pump, or they have a patch. It's like an insulin patch, or maybe it's a patch that is constantly monitoring the blood sugar. It's just like it's a lot less invasive, I feel like, than it used to be. It used to be like you had to prick your own finger and bleed onto a paper, and now it's like, you don't have to do that. It is to monitor our sugar. Yeah, but now, the patch is for the monitoring of the sugar? Okay. My cat said hi, y'all. Aw, meow, meow. I say hi back. No insulin patch. Okay, cool, sorry. It's a patch that's like on your arm that monitors your sugar. And then the insulin pump allows you to bypass giving yourself a needle every day. You have to give yourself a needle like once a week instead, which is like way more manageable than every single day. I watched Call the Midwife, and they would send a nurse or midwife would give their insulin shots. Ugh. I liked Call the Midwife. Alex and I make fun of it, though, because every single episode ends with, "And we did it for love. It was for love." That was Alex and I always make a joke. Like, when I say, like, "Will you come with me to whatever, to do whatever?" And he's like, "Okay, I'll go for love." The narrator just says that a lot in that show. I prick still sometimes when the patch device falls off early. Okay, I still do needle every day, and another once a week, and pills every day as well. Lots and lots of meds. My dad pricks himself several times a day. Okay, well, maybe I have, the people that I know that have diabetes have a different way of managing it now. They don't have to prick their fingers as often. I mean, I only have 2 people in my IRL circle who have type 1 diabetes who have to treat it, but they're treating, I guess maybe they have really good insurance then, because they're treating it in a way that seems very minimally invasive. That made me laugh out loud. Did you see that show? And you know I'm right? My dad has a pen, so first prick his finger and then the needle pen. Yes. Okay, so it's still done the old way in most. I love that show, Downton Abbey. Oh, what happened in Downton Abbey? What did I miss? Call the Midwife is not the same as Downton Abbey. I still do, okay, got that. My dad brings both that. Maybe that. Yeah, kind of depends on what your insurance will cover. Okay, that makes sense. Well, I guess the people that I know that have diabetes have the coverage so that they don't have to do the same level of prickery. But anywho, I don't know what I was saying. That was my favorite memory of my grandma in Costco. Costco and her teaching me how to sew. And also, I think I have another memory that was my favorite, and that was when she would be making something, like if she was sewing something, she would let me rummage through her craft stuff. So I would just go through her bobbins, her sewing basket, her fabrics, her like notions, just all of the stuff she had that was associated with her sewing crafts and her yarn crafts. I would just go through all of them. Usually she would like send me home with a new thing, like whatever the thing is that I was interested in, and she would like say, "Take that thing home and see if you can make something with it." So that was also a really fun thing. She had this closet, and it would be like this, it was off limits, but when she was working in it, like when she was unpacking it to be doing some sewing, I was allowed to rummage around through that. Okay, I've just joined Patreon. How do I connect to Discord? Let me go into Patreon and make sure that sorry, I need a new window to go to Patreon to make sure the link shows up there for Discord. And then I can go to that, and I can invite people, copy. Okay, the link invite expires in 7 days. Posts, new. Sorry everyone, I just need to post a link to the Patreon. Command V. Patreon link. Publish now. Okay, if you go on Patreon, it's on there now. Oh, I wrote Patreon link. I meant Discord link. But it's the most recent thing. You should be able to see it. It is in there again somewhere else. You can just like scroll through, but this way it's now at the top, so you'll be able to find it. Sid, what game are you playing? Oh yeah, Farm Sim, right? And Dawn, things I bought at Costco when they first opened were fantastic quality. The samples were legendary, like a buffet. Yeah, you got like a serving of whatever. Like when you got the pierogies, they'd give you like a little bowl with like 4 pierogies in it. And then if you went for a hot dog, they'd give you like half of a hot dog. Like you got like a significant amount of food. So by the time you were done, you were like full. It was like a party. Costco was a party. Now you get a small paper thing with 3 nuts in it. But DK, I sent on the Discord, on the Patreon main page, there's a link to the Discord there. DK. If you have any trouble, let me know. Yep, Farming Simulator 19. The new one comes out on Tuesday, and I'm debating pre-order or not. It comes out on Tuesday. Why would you need to pre-order? I mean, I get then you're getting it right away, but if it's a digital thing, is it a digital thing, or is it a physical, like, do you have to have a physical item? You know what I mean? Like, is it a CD-ROM, or is it just a digital download? In which case, why would you need to pre-order? If it comes out on Tuesday, shouldn't they have unlimited numbers of sellable ones? Ooh, that sounds like fun. No shame in pre-ordering. No shame in pre-ordering, but I don't understand. You get extra stuff if you pre-order. Then pre-order, duh. If you get extra stuff, pre-order. I thought it was just like if it's a physical item, I understand pre-ordering because then you're guaranteed to get it. But if it's a digital item, pre-order seems like moot because you don't need to buy any physical thing and there should be enough for everyone, right? But if you get free extras, then that's a good reason. I don't know if I want the extras or not. Okay, well, what are the extras? We'll help you figure it out. What are the extras? And DK, let me know if that link worked for you. I'm sure it will, but let me know. I'm eating a clementine, and it's so good. Clementines are so good. So cheap and juicy. They're not cheap, but that was a Regina Spektor song. She goes, "Hey, remember that time when I would only..." What should she say? "Hey, remember that time when I only ate boxes of tangerines? So cheap and juicy." That's what she says in the song. Regina Spektor is life. Contessa, he still has to dose with a pen. The pump did not work for him at all, but he does have a constant glucose monitor. He checks his sugar with his phone. That's cool. The constant glucose monitor, that helps, right? Every time I put my monitor device in my arm, I say I'm plugging into the Matrix. Kind of though, right? Deanne, no shame in feeding hungry kids. Deanne, we have 5 kids and used to go to Costco after church on Sunday for lunch. Feel a bit guilty about that now. Pfft, don't ever feel guilty about feeding your kids. I don't think so anyway. I don't think you should ever feel guilty about providing food for your kids. You paid for the membership. The samples are part of that membership. That's why the membership fee exists, because you have extras. It's like you're getting extras for going in there. That's how Alex used to say it to me anyway. When we would go and I would be shy to get a sample, he was like, "You paid for this the membership. For the membership, you get the fun extras, like snacks." And I was like, okay. I just don't want them to look at me and judge me. I'll bet they'll taste fabulous, Frida. What's Frida gonna make? I'm gonna set a zone. Lots of hammering. What? Oh, definitely not something to feel guilty about. I bet they will taste fabulous. Hold on. I'm gonna set a stone. Lots of hammering. Oh, there we go. I ordered 2.5 kilograms of clementines directly from the farmer in Spain. That's cool. How far is Spain? Like, how long will that take to get to you? Okay, I've sent a photo in Discord. I'm ready. Give me the photo. Oh my gosh. That's like the same sweater. That's so crazy. It's even blue. How crazy is that? That's so cool. The neckline is different. Yours is a rib. This one is like a rolled over rib. But other than that, that's crazy. That's like the same color and the same sweater. What? That's so cool. I love that. I like that a lot. That's so weird. How weird is that? That's so similar to this one. Dawn, people only judge fat people like me. No, Dawn. Well, they shouldn't. That's a lot of clementines. 2.5 kilos? That's not that much. because you get 5 pounds, a 5-pound, that's just like a box of clementines, you know? That's like a box like that big. 5 pounds of clementines? That's how you buy them here, in boxes of 5 pounds. Like at the grocery store, when you buy clementines, they're in a 5-pound box. Not as good as your grandmother's. Well, I can't say it's as good as my grandmother's because that would be blasphemy from me, but it is a beautiful sweater. I can say that. They said about 25. We get them maybe in 1 to 2 pounds here. Oh, yeah, we get them in 5-pound like crate, like wooden boxes. When you get your clementines, they're like in a wood box here. And they're 5 pounds usually. 5 pounds in a wooden box. If you get them in a bag, like the net bags, maybe they're less, but usually when you buy them, you just buy them in a box. And it's $5 for the 5-pound bag box. $5. When clementines go down to $3.99, you buy 2 boxes. That's how I know the prices. I don't know how many are in there. We get them in maybe 1 to 2 pounds. We pick them loose, as many as you want. We pick them as, hold on, we pick at them loose, as many as you want. You mean like they're like, you graze on them, eat however many you want? 1, 2, 3. I haven't seen those larger crates in ages. We had those when I was a kid. I still don't think it was 5 pounds though. You don't think those ones are 5 pounds? I feel like they're 5 pounds. I'll have to check when we go to the grocery store, because they are there now by now. It's winter time. But they're not a big box. It's like the size of a shoebox. It's nothing like huge, but it's wooden, and I think it's 5 pounds, but now I'm gonna have to check. They do, wrong or right. They say things I can hear. It makes it hard to go out. Ugh, that's awful. That's awful. Like, who do they think they're helping? When people make comments about people's appearance in any way, it's like, do you not think I know how I look? How is what you're saying helpful? You know what I mean? Like, do you think that the thing that you murmur is going to make me go, that's the motivation I needed to make myself the way that they want me to look? Like, no. If you're comfortable in your body, I don't think that that's fair that people should be able to... Like, it's so rude. It's so rude to mutter things about people in public. Like, if you have some opinion that you really need to share with the person that you're with about someone else, first of all, take a step back and look at yourself. And second of all, maybe wait till you're not there? Like, why is that so gross? I hate people. It's very rude. I say it was a box as big as 2 shoe boxes. Oh, okay. They say to feel better about themselves. I mean, it shouldn't make them feel better about themselves. It should make them feel like terrible people. How does bringing someone else down make you a better person? It doesn't. It doesn't at all. I mean, they are loose in the store like apples or pears. Oh. Loose in the... Did I read them? We pick them loose, as many as you want. Them. I think they mean they're loose in the store like apples or pears. Oh, okay. No, in the normal stores, they're as big as a mountain, and you pick as many as... There's this big mountain, and you pick as many as you want. Well, it's cool that you're getting them from a farmer. They're probably going to be fancier, like tastier and sweeter. Same, Laura. I'm sorry you have to deal with that at all, Dawn. Yeah, same. I wish that I could ever have the quick wit and sharp tongue to manage people like that in public, but I'm very non-confrontational in public, so I don't know if I would be any help. But I like to believe that someday I'll be able to, like, have a quick response, a quick-witted, sharp-tongued response that puts them in their place. But I never seem to have it when it's time, you know? Also, thank you everyone for clicking the like button. 28 likes so far, thank you. If you haven't clicked like, definitely click that, please. But thank you to everyone else who did, because I only think I said it once so far. I'm still just making granny squares now. I have 20 to make. I can make 19 of them on stream. And then, tutorial one of them. How's everybody else doing today? I'm still very anxious. Well, I'm not anxious, though. It's my body is anxious. It just feels like I'm dying from a heart attack. But the heart attack has been going on now for this is the third day where it's completely, like, all day. Up until now, it's been, like, most of the day, but, like, not as aggressively. It's been, like, little blips throughout the day. That's why I thought I was having a heart attack. But now it's just been all day. Like, I woke up, and as soon as I sat up, took a deep breath, it came back. It was just immediately back. It was gone when I went to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, but it was back when I woke up this morning. So, yeah, I'm not yet feeling great, but I'm gonna have a talk with my doctor today, and hopefully I will solve that, because I don't like the feeling of feeling like I'm dying. And also knowing what is causing it, and yet still not being able to manage it. Like, anxiety is not that big of a deal for me usually. I can manage it, and I can, like, handle the feelings that come with it, but this feels unmanageable. It doesn't feel like something I could do for weeks, the feeling that I have right now. Hey, cats! Just popping in, welcome, glad you're here. I'm very good at stopping and giving people a stare until they're ashamed of themselves, or at least uncomfortable. That, I think I could do a shameful stare. Yeah, I wish I had the confidence to confront people like that, but people can act weird and scary when they feel attacked. That's true too. People can react way more aggressively than the situation requires, for sure. A quick wit and sharp tongue are not always a good thing. I frequently get myself in trouble, DN. The stare is so good. The stare. I like the stare. You know what my sister said we should start saying to people when they say things like that is, did you mean to say that out loud? Just, did you mean to say that out loud? Or say, pardon me? Sorry, I didn't hear the end of that sentence. I heard the beginning part, but I didn't hear the end part. Can you repeat it? It was directed at me, no? Like something like that. Like something where you're not actually saying you're a bad person, but where you're making them think, am I a bad person? But I love did you mean to say that out loud? Like when a guy cat calls, you know what I mean? Like, or says something gross when you're walking in a grocery store. Like for some reason, if I go to a grocery store alone, maybe 1 out of every 10 times, I will get a comment on my appearance from a man I don't know, unsolicited, where there was no reason for that. There was no greeting, just immediately into a weird body comment. And I would love to be able to turn around and go, did you mean to say that out loud? And like that you're embarrassed for them, as opposed to being disgusted by what they say, but like, did you mean to say that? Like, that's pretty cringy, that kind of thing. Well, I wear tights a lot, so my ass is for anyone to comment on, I guess. The stare is a little bit less confrontational. Yeah, but I want to be able to confront people and make them feel like complete garbage when they do things that are complete garbage. Why do you even think that like that, let alone say it? Yeah, well, like, it's like, I'm walking in the grocery store. I'm wearing this lovely diamond ring. I'm wearing a pair of tights and a big baggy sweater. The tights, my bum is covered by my big baggy sweater. But because I'm wearing tights, that means that you can comment on the fact that I have a bum. Not like, wow, your sweater's really cool, did you make that? By the way, you look great in your outfit today. Nothing like that. More like, gross things. Like, I've had a man say something like, I'd like to rest my head on that ass. And I'm like, that's a super weird and cringy thing to say in public. Like, you're in a grocery store and it's like 10:30 in the morning. Like, I don't know if this is the place for that. You just look like a creep. Like, I'd also just going like, you look really, like, I would love to say like, you look really creepy when you say stuff like that. You come off, I don't know if you know how you come off when you say these things, but really creepy. Like, really creepy, like I would want someone to walk me to my car now because of what you've said. Maybe don't say that to other women, because it's way, I don't think you mean it to be as creepy as it came out. Very creepy. Like, I would love to say that. So what? Get fucked. Literally, yeah, ew, WTF. Yeah, and it's just like, what? Like, usually I pretend like I don't understand, and I'll turn around like, with just a confused, disgusted face, and that usually makes them walk away. But anyway, yeah. If you're someone who thinks that they should comment on someone's appearance in public, don't ever comment on someone's appearance in public. If the only thing that you can comment on about someone's appearance is if you are having an interaction with them, because you have to have an interaction with them, aka like the cashier, you can comment on things that they have done to make themselves stand out. You can't comment on things that they look like naturally. That's how I look at it. You can't go to someone and be like, you have beautiful collarbones. You know what I mean? Like, that's weird. But saying, wow, your nails look really cool, if they have painted, like, nails. Or if they've done a really good job on their makeup and eyebrows, you can go, your eyebrows look fantastic. But commenting on something about someone's body that is not changeable is not ever compliment or insult. Don't do it. Compliment things that they have done to their appearance for the external world. Do you know what I mean? If someone has tattoos all over their hands, you can say, wow, those tattoos are really neat. If someone has hair extensions that are all different colors, wow, I think your hair extensions look really cool. You can comment on things that people have changed about their appearance that are unique to them. I don't think you should comment on things about people that they can't change. Even if it's a compliment, because you don't know how they feel about that thing. Like, someone might have been putting vitamin E cream on their face every day to try and get rid of freckles, and by you going, wow, I love your freckles, you've just hurt their feelings, even though you thought it was a compliment. Not for me. I just mean, like, that's in a general thing I can't change about myself. I don't mind that, as like, old people sometimes just say, like, your freckles are so cute, and it doesn't bother me. But I mean, in general, I think if a person can't change something about their appearance, you have no business commenting on it at all as a stranger to them. At all. No business commenting about their beautiful figure. That's gross. 100% of the time, if a man has commented on my figure, wow, you have such an hourglass figure, I'm like, don't look at my body. I'm buying cereal. You know, that's not what I'm here for. Yeah, exactly. I like your hair. That color is really cool. I love your outfit. Things that people have put onto their body, I think you can comment on. Things that people are their body, don't comment on. She said they were so big and expressive, and I thought it was sweet. I usually compliment people on their clothing or pets. Yeah, complimenting people on clothing or pets are great. I think eyes are nice too, because everyone's eyes, you know, the eyes are the window to the soul. I think complimenting eyes is good. I think that's probably, like, I don't think you should compliment the shape of someone's ears. I think complimenting someone's eyes is fine. I think. You have beautiful eyes. No, it's not actually. It's not fine if it's a stranger. It's fine if you're dealing, it's fine. That one's a touch and go. You know? Eyes are a touch and go. Depending on how the conversation, it shouldn't be the first thing you say. That's what I'm trying to say. Eyes, you can comment on if you've had at least a couple of sentences exchanged prior where you made eye contact, so that you can notice the eyes. Like, oh, thank you. Yep, that's all for today. By the way, your eyes are beautiful. That's okay. But coming up to someone and saying, you have magical eyes, that's a little creepy. So I think if you've had a conversation with someone, you can compliment their eyeballs. But that's the only body part you can compliment. Even complimenting the shape of someone's teeth or mouth, don't compliment people's body. Compliment the things they put on their body, and compliment the things that they've done to change their appearance, because those are the things that they actively are putting out into the world on purpose, you know? Oh, cool, Deanne, you have one brown eye and one blue eye. I get lots of comments on them. I can tell when someone notices it, and they usually make a big deal about it. It's uncomfortable. Well, yeah, because you can't change it. So when they're like, how did that happen? I don't know you, and I don't care to explain this to you. Google it. These are the colors of my eyes. I don't know you. I have no obligation to explain. Sid, or say it in a surprised way and acknowledge that it might be weird for a stranger to say. I often do that. I do that anytime I compliment people, though. I say, like, not in a creepy way. I usually say, hey, I just want to say this, not in a creepy way, but I really love the way you've done your makeup. It really, like, highlights your cheekbones. You look amazing. Like, I'll say something like that. But I usually preface it with, not to be creepy, but just so they know it's not coming from somewhere, like, sexual, because getting comments that are well-meaning but come from a sexualized place is not something that anyone wants. Nobody wants that. Nobody is going out being like, I hope that when I go to the grocery store today, someone notices my butt. Like, nobody's like that. Or, oh my god, your eyes are so color. Oh my god, your eyes are so blue. Sorry, I don't mean to be weird. They're just, wow, they're very captivating. Yeah, cool. But saying, like, your eyes are so blue, it makes me want to, nope, I don't want to know what that does for you. You can acknowledge. I don't need to know how that makes you feel, because I don't know you. I don't care how it makes you feel. I'm so thankful that you, the younger generations, aren't trained to be hungry for compliments like some of my generation. Luckily, I had a bad ass ahead of her time, mama. Ahead of her time. Well, whenever I gain weight, it goes straight to my bum and to my thighs. So I know I've gained weight depending on the sexualized statements made by men in public. Oh, I've gained weight because I've had 2 comments on my ass in the last month, which is not something I'm used to. I think the trick is keeping it platonic and friendly versus sexual or flirty. I think guys are raised to be super sexual via media, etc., so they're more awkward. Yeah, well, I was teaching Alex about complimenting people and, like, how it makes people feel nice for you to acknowledge something about them that makes them look human, like, that makes them know that you see them as a person. So when you see someone at a cashier and you're on the phone and then you're like, yeah, that's fine, credit, you're treating them as a machine, not as a person. So, Alex now, whenever we go through a drive-thru, he comments on whatever is on the people's hands who hand him his drink. Wow, I like your watch. Your nails are a very cool color. Like, he comments on whatever is going on the hand that is coming. If there's a watch, they get a compliment on the watch. If they have really good nails, they get a compliment on the nails. If they have a ring, they get a compliment on the ring. And I said to him, like, any jewelry things are safe to compliment. So now that's the only thing he compliments. I like the chain. You have a good chain. And people, most of the time, they're like, oh, thank you. Because Alex is also, like, autistic, so the way he delivers that type of thing is very direct. Like, I like your watch. And yes, it usually has been received well, but also it's because regardless of if the barista is a girl or a boy, he can compliment nails, he can compliment watches, he can compliment jewelry. Those are easy things to feel not worried about. Because he was seeing me do it, like, where I would say, like, your eyebrows, the shape, amazing, you did a really good job. And I always say, if I compliment someone's appearance, I follow it up with, you should definitely get outside in some natural light today and take a selfie. Today is a good day for you to take a selfie. Just so that they know that I'm not coming from a place where I'm, like, interested in them. It's more of a place like, for your benefit, you look great today. You should take advantage of this. Or I'll say, like, you should definitely plan a date for tonight. You look amazing. Like, if I'm talking about someone's general appearance. Those are the ones that I usually use. If I'm complimenting something on a girl's face, I'll usually say, get out into natural light today and take a selfie. You look beautiful. And I've been trying to say you are beautiful instead of you look beautiful, but it's hard to switch. My brain automatically says you look beautiful, but I like the idea of saying you are beautiful because I feel like that's a better feeling. That's very flat and basic, no vibes added. It's very flat and basic, no vibes added. Yeah, exactly. No vibes are added, and Alex is just being friendly, and it's clear he's just being friendly because he's not, that's all he'll say to them. Like, I like your watch. Thank you. Have a good day. He's very, very neutral. Good lessons from teacher Laura. I love it. Good lessons at Don't Be a Creep with Last Minute Laura. Come here to learn how to not be a creep. We should invite boys today. All the boys. I feel like I don't feel creeped out by many compliments girls give me. I feel like girls know how creepy it is to be complimented by creepy boys. So, therefore, that shapes how we develop our own compliments for one another. So really, we need to get boys into these classes. How to not be a creep. Exactly, Sid. How to not be creepy with Last Minute Laura. How about just be kind? You'd think that would be easy, but for some reason, be kind and be creepy are way too close for boys. They look very similar, so they just, you know. Your Alex was such a good sport trying on the hat the other day. He is a good sport, isn't he? Yes, he's very he's very supportive of everything that I do. So he's always a good sport. He really believes in this YouTube thing. Like, every time I doubt myself and say, like, I need to go just quit this and get an office job, this isn't ever gonna work out, like, you know, get into the dumps about it. He's always like, no, this is what you're supposed to be doing. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. You're an artist, and this is how you are making your art. And he like believes it. So it's not just like he's trying to convince me. He believes it, which helps because sometimes I don't believe it. So yeah, he's a really good partner to have. Yeah, it's a socializing thing. Yeah, for sure. Was that on purpose, or are you having a stroke? Do you need medical help? Right, Contessa? Was that on purpose? Do you know me? Or do you think I look like someone you know? Because that's like such a weirdly inappropriate thing to say to someone you don't know. Wouldn't you love to have that ready at the docket, just ready? I'm never ready. Alex was so cute with the hat. He looked really happy. Well, he already has his own hat, so he won't be wearing that one, but he has another handmade hat that he'll wear. When I say cute, I mean he looked happy and supportive. I know what you mean. I have no jealousy for Alex. There is no jealousy. I don't get that feeling because I am very, very secure in my relationship. So if you said he's a total hottie with a body, I would be like, totally, I agree. I don't feel, so don't worry, you don't have to clarify compliments about Alex. Oh, I'm trying not to be creepy with the compliments, lol. Well, he's a hottie with a body. My Russian man. Yeah, all her smoothies and stuff. Oh, sorry, what am I missing? There has to be a way to be healthier. I feel like Fully Raw Christina is selling herself. Like, everything is about what she does to gain for herself. Also trying to sell stuff to me, too. I agree with Fully Raw Christina. That's not a realistic way to live. She's definitely not getting enough nutrients. I've watched her what I eat in a day, and she eats nothing. She eats nothing. She eats a whole lot of nothing. So no wonder she's skinny. She works out and does yoga and eats nothing. That'll do it. It's not healthy, though. Obviously she's healthy for not eating all of the processed meats and stuff, but, like, she's not eating enough of the things she eats, totally. She's not... And yes, she's selling herself. I don't know. Once people start selling the 4 Sigmatic coffee, I start... the next step for me after the mushroom coffee is the... essential oils. It's like if they're selling essential oils and mushroom coffee, I'm logged off of them. They are no longer... when they're saying, like, this coffee helped me with my mold allergy, I'm like, no, it didn't. It absolutely is an eating disorder, Sid. Absolutely. It's like, this is how I see the progression of it. It's like people who had anorexia or have anorexia, I guess it doesn't really disappear, but people who have anorexia can go a couple ways. 1, they can stay on the anorexia and just starve. 2, they can become bodybuilders and have the eating disorder of controlling everything they eat and making sure they get X amount of protein. Or they can go the raw vegan way where they still get, it's like a control of food. So it's still an eating disorder. If you are controlling your food so specifically that you can't go off of your track, you know? Yeah. Yes, exactly, Sid. She did do an essential oil thing where she says, like, I put oil of oregano and oil of whatever into my water with, and I shake it up to dilute it. Water doesn't dilute oil. Just so you know. If you mix oil with water, it's not diluting the oil, and essential oils are not diluted. They're very concentrated. They're not meant to be eaten. And good for you if you found solutions with eating essential oils, but they are not for eating. They are not good for eating. They're not good for your body. They're not good for your kidneys. They're not good for your liver. They're not good for your stomach. They're not good for you. They're not meant to be eaten. They are like way more concentrated than you would ever use of that plant that they came from. Yeah, they're natural, but you would never come into contact with that in real life. They're literally they're literally dangerous to ingest. Yeah, and yet how many YouTube vegans are saying that they mix essential oils with their lemonade? Oh, I always just put a few drops of rosemary essential oil with my lemonade, and I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you telling people that this is okay? No study is cited, of course. Wait, this person is on YouTube? Yes, Maya, she is. Yes, all she came from money. I donate most of my tithes to charity, not to buy sponsorships for someone who is self-absorbed. Well, yeah, she's a something. It just sucks because she's teaching it so aggressively and excitedly that it makes it feel like it could be a good idea. And other people will end up hurt. Like, she's not getting hurt at this point, but other people who are following her way of eating can end up hurt. And that's not good. If you're teaching someone how to eat, but you're actually poisoning them, that's not the way you go. Bottle of lavender oil I have says, do not ingest or put on skin. Yeah. Because it's not for that. Like, just put in a rosemary sprig. Exactly, Maya. That's not going to kill you at all because it's a rosemary sprig and you're getting the flavor totally. Loaded with grifters and culty folks. Yeah, I know, which sucks because it would be nice if they weren't, because the vegan community could be a really good place, because the vegan lifestyle of not eating animals is great. Why do they have to take it so far and get so crazy about it? Because it's an eating disorder when it gets to that point. It's not just living your life. Like, it's just not the same. Like, you need to eat food, you know? I've never heard lavender oil deters deer because it smells so strong. It's the only reason I have it. Really, I didn't know it deters deer. That's nice. I had lavender oil and I would put a drop of it on the pillow, not the pillowcase, when I was having trouble sleeping. Remember when I was taking melatonin? Because I was not sleeping at all. It's sad young girls are influenced by these crazy people. Well, they look amazing. They have abs, and they wear all of the cute clothes that are being marketed as the clothes girls are supposed to be wearing. So, and they look so happy, and they live on a beach. Like, when you watch that, you're like, wow, this lifestyle sounds like a great idea. But they don't really know what it actually means, like, for real life. There are reputable brands that have oil supplements, but they're not essential oils. Right. There's reputable brands for lots of things, and the problem is most of the essential oils are MLMs. Like, what is the main one? Oh, shoot. There's the main essential oil provider, and it's like straight up an MLM, which is not great. Contessa, my mom worked on a diesel fuel station. A dude once reached over and pinched her tit. She whacked him with her tire club and broke his wrist. Good. He thought she should have been flattered. Yeah, that's a no from me. Don't touch my physical person if I don't know you. At all. At all. I don't want someone who's never met me, I don't want any contact at all. No physical contact. Not you, Frida. You're very chill, and I love it for you. I love you for it. Yes, Frida's not the same at all as far as that, but she's not a fully raw vegan living in, where do they all live? Hawaii or Austin, Texas, eating only fruits and essential oils, essentially. Obviously, Frida is not in that group of people. I ingest a chlorophyll drink with some mint oil in the ingredients. It actually helps me. Well, good. It might just be the other chlorophyll things, or it might be that you have a good strong gut that has adjusted to the mint oil, or there is a minuscule amount of the mint oil, enough that it isn't causing you harm. But it's not good to be eating. Thank you. I'm a sane vegan, I hope. I mean, I won't... Don't be putting words in my mouth, Frida. I didn't say you were a sane vegan. I said that you weren't, one of those raw vegan crazies. I can't confirm if you are sane or not. I'm just joking, obviously. Gosh. Youth Living and, oh, that's what it is. Young Living and doTERRA are both MLMs and both use cult tactics in recruiting. Yes. And when you say literally, you mean literally. Yes. doTERRA and Young Living. Totally. I watched a documentary on Young Living. Sketchy, sketchy company. If you have essential oils, check the brand. And if you have Young Living, which you probably do, you probably either have doTERRA or Young Living, and if you do, check the company, Google it, do a little googly. I don't drink mushroom coffee, and I have my lavender oil in my cleaning products. There you go. Thank you, Frida. I don't drink mushroom coffee. I don't know about mushroom coffee. I just know that all of the raw vegans started shilling it at the same time, and that made me feel like I don't like that. I don't like that they are all trying to sell me a product that and saying that it'll cure mold allergies. You can't make that claim. Mint tea is good for you. Mint oil? Questionable. Mint tea is great for you. I love mint tea. Oh my gosh, my mom has doTERRA. Yeah. Hopefully your mom is not selling doTERRA, because then she unfortunately got stuck in an MLM. But if she's just bought it, just make sure she knows that it's sketchy for the future. The quality of the product is fine. Essential oil is essential oil, but the business structure of that company is not fine. It's bad news bears. Yeah, MLMs are bad. MLMs are bad. Multi-level marketing schemes, don't do it. Oh, doTERRA was found by someone who left Young Living. Young Living is like a straight up sketchy cult. I have Young Living essential oils before I knew that. No, actually both MLMs have crap fillers in their overplace. Really? They trick women, basically. Yep. Nature's Truth is the brand I have. I have an aunt who is 55 and she's vegan. Hey there, Ben. And how's she doing? Hopefully she's doing well. Not involved in an MLM or any crazy fad diets. Hopefully she's just eating healthy and living a good life. Yeah, the chlorophyll, I use the chlorophyll extract. It's called Benevolent. Well, that's a good name. Benevolent makes it feel safe, right? They lie. They just do. It's in their sales and recruitment handbook. Yep. There is such a fun series about pyramid companies with Kirsten Dunst on Netflix. Really? Set in Florida in the 80s. Oh, it's not a, I thought you meant it was like a documentary series with Kirsten Dunst. And I was like, how was that happening in the 80s? Wouldn't she have been a little kid? Or a baby? Look for Bisamia essential oils. My favorites. Organic, GMO-free, mostly handcrafted here in my country and quite cheap. Oh, cool. That's cool. Yes, extract. I suck. Carla, lol. Hello, Renata, by the way. Ben, oh no, exactly. In fact, she has a garden and eats her own food, and it tastes good. That's awesome. That's the good kind. That's the sane vegans, as we call them. Welcome, by the way. How's the Granny Square going? So far, so good, Mary Grace. This is my 5th one. I think I did it again. Oops, I did it again. I made it too big. And now I have to frog. Oh, baby. And now she has also become a minimalist vegan. Very cool. That is not what I am. I am a maximalist. I'm basically an organized hoarder. A collector of beautiful things. Britney Spears, who? Yeah, who is she? And she lives in a 1-bedroom wooden house with no heating and cold water. Oh my goodness, where does she live, Ben? Like in a forest somewhere? In Sweden? I'm a picky eater and my stomach is even pickier. So you can't be a crazy raw vegan, Frida, because your stomach will not permit you to be. They line up well. Veganism should naturally lead to minimal shopping practices. Definitely, yeah, because then you're thinking about your impact on the world. Yeah, but Laura, you thrift. Yes, that's true. Most of my hoarding is secondhand. A lot of my hoarding is secondhand. Does my name go blue now that I've joined Patreon or a symbol? No, it doesn't go blue, but if you'd like, it can go blue if you'd like. If you're going to stick around for a while, I can make you into a mod. That's what it means when they're blue. What that means is if someone comes in here spewing hate or being a troll, we have these people with the blue to be able to kick them out. It just means you're able to kick people out of the chat. Would you like to be a mod? Because I'm happy to have you join the team of mods, if that's something that you'd like to do. You are more low-impact minimalist versus aesthetic minimalist. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I'm a low-impact minimalist. I'm minimally impacting, so that's good. Can I be a mod, please? Sure, Slinky. Add moderator. And there is a housefly in here. It's winter. What are you doing inside? Go away. And DK, do you want to be one? And she's a social worker and likes helping people. That's lovely. In Canada, Ontario, outside a village in a remote area. Oh, cool. I'm in Ontario also. Is she up north in Ontario? Could I please be a mod too, if possible? Sure, Rue. I'm still waiting. No, I'm fine, but thanks. Sounds good, DK. I just want to ask before I make you a mod, you know? Okay, good. There we go. I now have set a stone. Very good, Frida. Well done. To be honest, literally all of us would be mods. Yeah. Do you want to be a mod, Mary Grace? Right? The whole stream is just mods. Can mods kick each other off? And I just realized I'm still a mod from the last time we had a troll, right? We loaded us all up. Really, yes, there are cold days there in the winter. Yes, there are very cold days here in the winter. Do you, where, are you in Ontario as well, Ben? Mary's, yes, okay. Add moderator. There you go. There, we're all moderators. Just an all blue chat, right? Hey, that means there's no trolls though. That's good. Kyla, there was a line on Crash Landing on you. The mogul tells her sister-in-law about how she was greedy for eating raw and not taking time to cook. Something like that. It had me thinking. There was a line on Crash Landing on you. There was a line on Crash Landing on you. The fashion mogul tells her sister about how she was greedy for eating raw and not taking the time to cook. Something like that. It had me thinking. Lol. The trolls will come back and go, nope, too many mods. Trolls can't get past all of us. Absolutely. No, I'm half Canadian and half from Austria. And well, I'm in Austria, but she visits sometimes. That's awesome. Well, that's cool that she's in Ontario, because I'm also in Ontario. Oh, Ben, what time is it there? Good question. I'm in a season of being more minimal person. I live in a small apartment, and I do not host 12 people dinner parties. Yeah, I am definitely not someone who, oh, go on, then make me one too. I feel left out. Okay. You don't have to act on your mod skills. You don't have to always be on if you're a mod. It just means that you have the ability to kick somebody out of the chat, which is good. But I also changed the chat last week so that in order to be in the chat, you have to subscribe. Frogging a dress here. Summer is coming and I can't wait to create some lightweight tops. Where are you at, Renata? Summer is coming. It's winter here, so you must be Australia? South Africa? What else? What's on the lower half of the world right now? All of those countries. This is my first time catching one of your lives. I love your brick wall behind you. Well, thank you. It's actually my grandpa's brick wall because I'm staying with my grandpa right now. But Sorsha, is your name like Saoirse Ronan's, but you spelt it phonetically, or is your name spelt Sorsha? Because why didn't Saoirse Ronan spell her name that way? That's a nice thing for YouTube to add. It might help a bit with generally mean lurkers. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, is that people who would just come in, like troll parties, they would have to subscribe and be subscribed for 5 minutes before they can do the troll raid. So people can't just come in and raid with their trolliness without subscribing for 5 minutes. And you can make it like people have to be subscribed for 5 minutes or for an hour or for a day before they're allowed to comment, which I think would get rid of all the trolls, but I also want new people to be able to chat, so I just made it 5 minutes. 2, 3, and 4. Oh, in Brazil. Very nice. How's Brazil doing this time of year? What kind of temperatures are you getting over there? 1, 2, and 3. Sorsha, nice to meet you. Glad to have you in the stream, and I hope that you'll stick around because we have nice conversations here. It's a cozy atmosphere. We do crafting and chatting and drinking tea and all the fun things. Contessa, I'm on Discord now, but I don't know how to find you there. Contessa, in order to join the Discord, to get the link to the Discord, you have to join the Patreon. So I made it the lowest tier for Discord. So for $2 a month, you get Discord and any patterns that I make. I post them there as well. So that's how you get onto the Discord for the channel for LML. Makes them have to at least code their bots around the new changes for a bit. Yeah, exactly. They're gonna have to do a little bit more work, at least. Who would want to troll a crochet craft channel? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Like, I think that it's just like a fun thing to do, to go somewhere and disrupt whatever anyone's talking about. I think it's the same as like going like into someone's, like into a restaurant and like yelling and flipping a table. It's just like to disrupt what everyone else is doing in there. It doesn't make sense. I think it's just like a weird hobby people have. I'm just trying to let go of stuff that requires working, dusting, things that don't fit the scale of my apartment or my life. That's really good to do. That's a good thing to do. 1, 2. Oh, I'm not there yet in life. Maybe someday. But currently I am still a maximalist. But such is life. And 3. Taking a yoga class this next spring, trying to get back in shape. Good job, Kyla. That's awesome. I need to start doing yoga again. I slept weird last night and woke up with like a sore neck. I need a neck massage, and then I need to do yoga tonight to work out that kink that I've got in my neck. And so how do I join Patreon? I'm 54, so I'm in the analog generation. Okay, Contessa, in the description of this video, if you scroll down, there will be like text saying good morning, welcome, that sort of stuff. Underneath all of that, there is a thing that it says become a patron, and there's a link. If you click that link, it'll take you to Patreon, and then you can just follow the steps on there. It's simple once you have that link. So the link is in the description. I can get the link out if you would like. Just give me a second here. Here you go. There is the link to the Patreon, and that way you can see it and have access to it. They are both Irish names, but pronounced a little differently. Mine is more like Sorka, but confusingly, some people spell their name like mine and pronounce it Sorsha, Sorka, Sorka. Okay, Sorka. Well, cool. Welcome. Are you in Ireland? Renata, your English is lovely. What did Renata say? About 80. I live in the south, so it's not hot like Rio de Janeiro, but can be pretty uncomfortable. Sorry about my English. Don't be sorry about your English. You're doing great. We can understand you. Wait until you've been here a little while. I'll be sorry about my English. My English is definitely struggles. And English is my native language. 1, 2, and 3. This aunt, she also does yoga and meditation. Hold on. I think you have a good chatting channel. Well, thank you. And I'm glad that you think that. And I am definitely a chatter, so if you stick around, you will find that out. This aunt also does yoga and meditation. She shaved it off. Now she has a gray buzz cut. She used to have long hair. She's just going all minimalist. Even getting rid of the hair. Chain 1. There we go. Did I miss anything? It's beyond a New Year's resolution. It's making a drastic change for one's life. And that's awesome. I'm also using the new Sheet Laundry shampoo bars, things packed in biodegradable containers. Dawn, that's awesome too. Making a lesser impact on the world while you minimalize your stuff. But also, Kyla, that's awesome that you're making a change for yourself. It's good to be able to just... Shoot, I made a mistake. I love that, Ben. I'm considering getting a buzz cut. I shaved my hair, it's been more than a year now, hasn't it? But I shaved my hair off, and this is it growing back from being shaved off. So far, so good. Long hair is the cheapest and easiest to take care of. Dawn, long hair is the cheapest and easiest to take care of, but a buzz cut is really easy to take care of. It's very easy to take care of. It's like not a lot of work. The only downside is that every time your hair grows out a little bit, you want to shave it again. So then you end up getting a buzzer, and then it's not cost effective because you've bought a buzzer. I've chopped my hair twice. I'm due for another chop, but I'm enjoying my long hair. My sister does that. Not for personal or environmental reasons, unfortunately, though. Oh no. How come you had to shave off your head then? Shave off your hair, not your head. How was the experience growing it back out? That's the only thing I'm worried about. Rue, there was an awkward period. It's just now, like in the last 3 weeks, it's becoming out of the awkward period. Like now I can leave my hair down and it is okay. Like 2 months ago, I would still just want to put it up, like out of the way. Because it's growing it out. There was an awkward period for 6 to 8 months before it started like sitting the way that like a girl's hair sits. Before that, it was sitting the way that like a boy's haircut sits as it grows out, you know? Ben, I think you must have looked great with a buzz cut. I did. I looked really good with a buzz cut. I don't have my... Do I? No, I don't have my phone here. I looked really cool. I had buzzed, like bubblegum pink hair. It can grow out really wonky. Getting a haircut definitely helps with the shaping. Yeah, I didn't do that. I didn't do the getting haircuts, so I literally just let mine grow out. Well, hey, it looks lovely now. Well, I'm happy with it now because now I can wear it down again. There was a point where I just didn't like how it looked down, so I would always have it up or behind a headband or under a hat or something. Obviously, I'm sure I could have styled it more in order to enjoy it while it was growing out, but no. Well, I'm non-binary, so honestly be delighted to have boys cut for a while. Well, there you go. Yeah, I just mean when it grows out, it's like it grew out, you know, like boys in high school when they stop cutting their hair because they finally have authority over their own body and their hair gets to like this length and it's like, you know what I mean, like a shaggy boy's haircut. It looked like that until recently, and now it has kind of settled into like the shape. I mean, obviously I'm doing stuff to it, but I mean, you should try it. And also, if you're non-binary, then you can enjoy the grow out. Like, you can do things with the styles while you grow it out to try different styles. My hair is to my waist, but 6 inches of it looks nasty. I haven't had a haircut in over 2 years. Jeez Louise, well, why don't you just take your scissors and cut those 6 inches off? If it goes all the way to your back, you won't even notice the 6 inches. Renata, I love to shave my hair. I always say that I would never do it again during the awkward period, but every 2 years I repeat it all over. Buzz cuts are the best. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that once I've grown this out to a length that I'm like, that's it. That's as long as I'm going to grow it. After that, I'm sure I will do the dyeing it light pink again, and then when you dye your hair light pink, you end up having to shave it off in the end anyway. Finishing up my rice and beans from yesterday. Rice and beans, so good. Great mix of foods. I love rice. We have a next door neighbor who cooks amazing smelling Indian food. Like every night, it smells like a restaurant, like an Indian restaurant. It smells so good. And Alex and I were out yesterday doing some yard stuff, and we could smell this. It was the tastiest smelling Indian food ever. Like it was so complex. It wasn't like when my mom makes Indian food, which is like maybe 6 or 7 spices. This smelled like 30 different spices, and I was standing, we were in the backyard, and their house's like exhaust fan goes into our backyard, so it was like straight from their kitchen into my nose, and I could smell the basmati rice. Like I was like drooling in the backyard, being like, I need to make Indian food. That's what needs to happen. So that's what I'm in the mood for now, is I want Indian food. I'm a patron now. I want to send a pic of my Chico. Awesome. Okay, did you get the Discord link? It's in Patreon. Hold on. Let me just get you the Discord link. I did put it in the Patreon already this morning, but I will put it in again now. Nope. File. New window. Patreon. It should be the last posted link, but I'm going to post just another one, just so you can have it, access it easily. And this is called Discord link. Awesome. Publish now. Okay, now you'll be able to see it. It'll have a big LML blue circle. I was like, oh, and she says to me, it's gone, and she was rubbing her head and laughing. It's gone. Rice and black beans are my daily lunch. It's delicious. I agree. What do you put on it? Is it just plain rice and beans, or do you have some seasonings that you always use? Oh, I don't know why I have like little burps in my throat. Man, bummer, I'm all the way in the States. I'd offer you to make you Indian food if you like it. I love Indian food. Like, I could eat Indian food more than one time a week for the rest of my life. It's like sushi and any Indian food. As long as there's basmati rice involved, I'm in. I love basmati rice, and I love all the spices used. When Alex and I went to this little Indian food restaurant in Toronto, in Little India, I guess? I don't know if it's called, I think it's called Little India where we were in. But oh my god, having it made by someone who's been making it for 50 years is like different. My mom makes great Indian food. It's not the same though. It's just not the same. It's delicious. It's just not as complex. It's like, you know, using, like I said, 6 or 7 spices. Still delicious, not as complex. They use like, I don't know, magical, crazy, delicious things. I love samosas. Spelling? I think that was fine. I think it's samosas, isn't it? Not simosas. Is it simosa? Simosa? Samosa? I think it's samosa. I also love them though, totally. Vegetable samosa, beef samosa, chicken samosa, potato and cheese samosa. Give me them all. Do you have an Indian grocery store near you? You can totally make that happen. Get a ton of basmati rice and spices. I need to know what spices are the ones that I need. Like, obviously I have the spices like curry, like the ones that are just called curry. And I have like curry powder, and I have paprika, and I have smoked paprika, and I have all those things, but I don't know what the complex ones are. The ones where it changes it to something different. And Dawn, we're all so chatty today. I love it. Me too. I love it too. I'm not feeling very anxious right now, actually. I'm feeling really good right now. So thanks for chatting with me, guys. Renata, I love rice and beans, especially with eggs or chicken. And beans and rice sounds so good. I grew up on that. Hold on. I didn't realize how rarely they're used in other cuisines. Totally, right? Kyla, do you mean samosas? They are so good. I do love them. I love Chinese food, more specifically Asian food. I love Japanese food. I love Turkish food. I love Russian food. I started getting taco seasoning from bulk spices at work, and I have to doctor it with more cumin and seasoned salt. You have to upgrade the seasoning to fill it. If you know whether you prefer North versus South Indian food, North Indians use a lot of garam masala. Yes, I like North Indian food. South Indians use sambar masala. No, garam masala I have. Am I saying it right? Because I was for many years saying gram, like Graham, gram masala, and then I realized it's not spelt that way, so it's garam masala. I'll be honest, I have no idea what curry is. I think it's just a spice blend of the spices I use individually. Well, I have a curry spice, I have garam masala, I have a green powder that I don't know, like the garam masala is brown. I have a green powder that is for curries. I also love red curry, like red, I think it's just called red curry. Red curry, like you get it in a jar or in a can. Technically, curry means gravy. Very good. The things you learn. Hey, Austin, long time no see. Welcome back. Green is just a different curry blend. Okay, well, I have one that is green, and it says curry on my spice rack. Ben, when she was visiting me, she stayed in my studio, and we were eating vegan for 2 weeks. How did you like it? Did you enjoy eating vegan for 2 weeks? I feel like you can eat vegan as long as you have food prepared. You know what I mean? Like, eating vegan is not difficult. It's difficult when you have to prepare it because you're not used to preparing things without any animal products. But when it's prepared for you, like if you ate at a vegan restaurant every meal for 2 weeks, it wouldn't be difficult to eat vegan. You know what I mean? Sid, I'm learning about Indian foods as well. I love East Asian cooking and I want to learn all the things so I can make things at home. Yeah, well, I haven't explored where the foods I like are from, and I should do more of that. But definitely it's where the garam masala is, because that's the kind of seasoning my mom uses. 1, 2, 3. And how's your morning going? My morning's going great. I thought curry meant spice blend. What do I know? I can't give you any information on that, Frida, because I do not know. And Austin said, my morning sucks right now. My college campus is on lockdown. Are you safe? Yeah, I hope you're safe. Why is it on lockdown? Are you somewhere safe? Turn your phone to silent, please. I've been watching Cooking with Arun Kumar. He's the Indian that works with Justin Rhodes. It's interesting to see how he blends it all. Oh, he has his own channel, Cooking with Arun? That's cool. I didn't know that. When I read Arun, I was like, oh, I know someone whose name is Arun on YouTube. And then you followed it up with, it's the same Arun. It's kind of used for broth. Curry refers to a spice blend and a category of dishes with a spiced gravy. I love dishes with a spiced gravy. Thank you very much. What about gold milk? I love to drink it in the winter. Indian gold milk. What's that? Is that like where you add turmeric to milk and then it's turmeric milk? Yes, lol, that's a good point. Right? I have a complicated relationship with food too. Well, I'm sorry that you have a complicated relationship with food. That's hard because food is like, that's the frustrating thing about any EDs, is that, and not erectile dysfunction, I'm talking about eating disorders. That's the problem with them, is that it's not like a drug that you need to quit, that you can avoid. Food is necessary. If you have complicated relationships with food, you still have to eat, you know what I mean? So it's a very complicated disorder to deal with, because it's not like you can just say, well, avoid food, and then you don't have to worry about the addiction to the control over food. Like the addiction of gambling, you just have to, well, not just, it's a very difficult addiction, obviously. You have to disconnect from gambling. Addiction to a drug, you have to stop using the drug. Addiction to food or control over food, you still need to eat food, even if you have a complicated relationship. It's definitely a frustrating and scary complication to deal with, for sure. Hold on. What did Austin say? I'm safe. There's someone on drugs that's supposedly suicidal and has a weapon. I'm safe. I'm glad you're safe. I'm sorry that you are in a situation where someone is unsafe and also unwell, obviously. Hopefully they get that person help before they hurt someone or themselves. But also still scary. Sorry. I love food, not allergic to anything, so give me all the food. Lebo, me too. You and me can sit next to each other. Except I'm allergic to raw clam. I'm not allergic to cooked clams. I'm not allergic to cooked crab, or I'm not allergic to shellfish, but once I ate raw clam at a sushi restaurant, like clam sashimi, and it tasted fine, and I got hives on my entire body, on the roof of my mouth, on the bottoms of my feet, on the bottom of my hand. Oh, you sent a picture of Chico. I'm ready. Give me the dog. Oh, what a babe. He's so floofy and scroofy. What a weird mixture of dogs that made a cute little dog. Look at his little feet. I want to give him a little hug. I want to smoosh my face. I want to grab his little face whiskers. Doggies that have face whiskers, I just want to grab their faces and just smush my face into their face. Very cute. Thank you for sharing him. Food problems are very, very difficult problems. Absolutely. Austin, be safe and smart, Austin. Yes, be safe and smart. Absolutely. Now it's my turn to come to her house. Well, I'll have to bring some warm clothes. Most definitely you'll have to bring warm clothes. But you said you're in Austria, was it? Doesn't Austria get cold? Austria is not only hot, right? Although if you're coming to visit her in the winter in northern Ontario in a house with no heat, or no electric heat, I'm sure she has like a fire or a fireplace type thing, that if you mix cinnamon and milk, it makes sexy time extra special. Interesting. That's so nice how you worded it to be PG, Lebo. I want to learn what spices go into Cuban rice and beans. It always looks so good on TV, but we don't have any Cuban places around here. If you don't have Cuban places, in Toronto anyway, the places where you could find Cuban spices also were often the places that you could find Jamaican spices. So if you have, and also for some reason, it was where you could find hair extensions. In Toronto, it was like hair extensions and melanin skincare, essentially. And you could also find henna there, and any Caribbean and Cuban spices were all, they had like a bulk barn of it. So I don't know if that helps, but maybe see if you have like a Jamaican community in your area that might have like a Jamaican store. You might find your Cuban spices there. And argan oil for way cheaper. That's where I bought my argan oil and my henna when we lived in Toronto. And Ottawa, actually. When we lived in Ottawa, it was the same thing. It was a Jamaican store. And lol, Lebo. Rue, Kyla, that's honestly a huge part of why I'm disconnected with the culture. It's really hard to get people to empathize with the oppressed if you believe they deserve it due to a past life. What? If people in India believe in second lives, how would they feel about being reincarnated to an oppressed individual like the untouchables in India? The caste system needs to come undone. Yes, it definitely does. The belief I learned growing up is if you act badly in one life, you're reincarnated to have a worse life. Have a worse life in the next one. Yikes. It always felt like victim blaming to me. Yeah, of course, but I have heating. Well, you have heating, but does your aunt have heating? Yeah, she has a fireplace, but she only uses it when it's really cold. Imagine. I am not someone who likes the cold, so I don't think I could live without heat. Everyone is super chatty this morning. It's nice to have you guys all engaged and hanging out in the chat. It's fun to have like all these different conversations going on. What about ordering these spices online? Oh, that's true too. You could order the spices online. I just like the idea of finding a local place. Wouldn't that be nice? Where like you know the spices are gonna be, I don't know, the ones. What about, the both zones are set. Well done, Frida. I'm gonna make myself some potatoes with butter, salt, and parsley. You deserve it. I think I might go nap. Yesterday was tiring and I feel like I should rest a bit. Sounds good, Mary Grace. Have a good nap, and if you wake up and it's before 1 o'clock, then come back and we'll hang out, because we'll still be here. And feel better, get some good rest. I actually was so anxious last night after the stream. Alex went out and did the groceries, and which is unheard of, mostly. Like, I'm the grocery person, so for him to do that was very lovely. And I just hid under my covers in my bed and pretended to not exist. Wash your hands, stay hydrated, and be kind. Absolutely, Mary Grace. We are still in the plague. Washing hands, being kind, drinking water, all important things. I know I can get all the spices, I just don't understand how the flavors work together or what specifically is used. Right? Because it's not like it'll change the flavor completely if you do it wrong. I want it to be the complex creamy, like it's a complex flavor, but it's not like you're going, oh, there's cumin, oh, there's star anise. It's like a mixture that doesn't make any sense in your mouth. It's just a good flavor. I would love to mix up the flavors to make an amazing curry with rice. And naan bread. I want naan bread with everything. I use naan bread to make quesadillas because I love naan bread. You two are so good for each other. Thanks, Sid. I like when you say that. It's true. We are very good for each other. He takes care of me when I need him, and I take care of him when he needs me. And otherwise, we just take care of each other. But when she visited, she was waking up at 5 a.m. and going to sleep at 10 p.m. I mean, that sounds like a good amount of day to be awake. My future in-laws keep cooking for me. I keep getting food from the pantry at school that's super healthy. I feel so blessed. That's awesome. You get to have home-cooked meals. Love that. Do they live with you? Or do you live with them? That's a little stressful if you're all under the same roof. Unless that's like the cultural norm for you, and then I'm happy for you. It's weird for me, though. Flatbreads are super easy to make in a pan on the stove. Yes, cast iron pan, a little bit of flour, a little bit of water, a little bit of salt. You're good to go. I mean, some of them say put baking powder or baking soda, I don't remember, into them, but I usually just make it with flour and salt and water. And then you stretch it out into the best you can and smack it down on a dry cast iron pan that is very hot. Give it a minute on the first side, 30 seconds on the second side, and you're good to go. That being said, haven't done that in a while. Have been just buying my naan bread, but totally naan bread's very easy to make, or flatbreads are. We live in separate spaces, and they bring you food? That's amazing, Kyla. I wish I had a garden that no one messed with, though. That is frustrating. And she walks like 10 miles a day, no matter what the weather is. Jeez Louise, just a health nut all over. They're just the most giving people. They do so much for other people. That's awesome. Sorry, I needed a good stretch. That's awesome. Contessa, I told you he's beautiful. He is beautiful. He's a beautiful boy. How old is he again? And also, Kyla, that's awesome that you have a relationship like that with your in-laws. That's great. Not a lot of people have that. In-law, it's a lot to have a whole other family to deal with, you know? What do you think if I cut my hair like this? To that length. Look at these little curls. They're trying so hard to be curls, even though I keep brushing them out. Happy about them. Love the hexagon sweater. Thank you. Me too. Put it on this morning because I was looking at it in the shelf and I was like, you deserve to come out. Hold on. I've had my share of breakups, so it's lovely to see two people in such a healthy relationship. We are healthy, aren't we? Most of the time, we're pretty healthy in our relationship because we talk. Because Alex doesn't have stuff going on in the background. Like, you know how like I can be very dissecting of all things that have been said, and Alex is not. So he doesn't ever bring up stuff from the past because when it's happened and it's over, it's done. So we don't have the kind of fights where he's like, well, remember when you did this? That never happens with us. So that's awesome. But also he's not interested in fighting. Like, fighting is not part of the healing process for him, where for me, like, if I'm upset, I want to fight. Well, we've broken it down to what I really want is to discuss all of my feelings about something. It's not that I want to fight, it's that when I feel I'm not being listened to, it turns into something like louder than I mean for it to. And so now that we both know that, I have not raised my voice. Like, we don't really raise our voice. It's more like I'll say something mean. It's relevant to the fight, but it's not kind. Whereas now we'll go for a walk, or we'll go outside when we were on the farm and just talk about whatever the thing is, and he'll let me just break it down into its tiniest parts, and then we kind of go through it that way. It's kind of wonderful. I mean, we also go to therapy, so it's like our relationship is healthy because we work on it, you know what I mean? Like when things aren't going well, we'll go to therapy more often. When things are going well, we still do couples counseling, you know? So highly recommend if you have a partner and you're like, how do we make this work long term? I would say go to couples counseling. Find out how each of you prefer to argue. Find out how each of you prefer to fight. And find out how each of you are when you're not in a position to fight or argue. Like when I'm not in a position to fight or argue, I can be really mean because I don't want to be involved anymore. So I'll like say something mean to get out of it. So we just don't get to that point. If I'm not in a space where I'm ready to fight, we won't fight. I mean, we don't fight, you know what I mean? But that sort of arguments happen, disagreements happen, just like making decisions for our future. We have to discuss each of the things that could happen, you know? It's a lot of talking. That's how is our relationship healthy? A lot of talking. Mostly it's me talking, but Alex talks a lot too, so it's okay. Ola and I also talk about everything. Yeah, because it's important. Because if you're meant to be on the same team forever, you can't have secrets about things that you want, or things that you don't want, or things that you don't like, or things that you like. You have to be on the same page so that you can be on the same team in your fight. Like when you're not fighting with your partner, you're fighting with them against the world. Like you and your partner, when you've signed on to be with someone forever, you know, it's like you're a team against the world. You're now a family. So it's just kind of like we consider ourselves a team, and when we are dealing with anybody else other than the two of us, we need to be on a united front. Like it would be awful if we went somewhere and then Alex and I disagreed on something in public. I don't like that. I like when we are on the same page in all things. When we are on a united front, we are on the same page in all things. Obviously, that doesn't mean we have all the same thoughts. Like, he has different hobbies than me, and he has different interests. But, yeah, definitely a lot of talking is involved. We go on drives and talk. That as a default setting, Ben, Frida's right. She is a rather cold person. She doesn't talk much. And if she talks, she will use short and sharp language. Some people are like that. Maybe she's autistic. Maybe she doesn't really realize that the way that she's talking is short and the way that she's interpreted is cold. Maybe she just thinks, I only need to get out the information that they need, so I'll just give the information that they need. And the way it comes out is direct, so it feels cold, you know? I've battled it, and it still manifests sometimes. Contessa, I'm sorry that you still have to go through that battle and that it's just every day is another day. But you're free to share about it here. You're welcome to share about any of your things, all your feelings. This is a nice, welcoming community, so it's definitely a place that you can feel comfortable sharing what you're going through. Lovely, Frida. I am sure the scenery is beautiful. Kyla, it really is. I live among the forest hills with lots of lakes. Her husband died 5 years ago suddenly. I think that might play a role. I mean, yeah, okay, that could be it. But Frida is right. It could just be her default setting. See if I missed anything there. Big yawn. Excuse my yawning. I'm not tired. My heart is very anxious. Yesterday was worse. I can say that. Yesterday was a worse day than today. I was really struggling yesterday. I was trying to keep it together during the stream, but I was really struggling. I just wanted to hide. Sighs, the forest. Yeah, I know, Kyla. That's how I feel too. The forest. I would like to be in the forest, please. How many rounds am I doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm on round number 6. Someday I will live in the forest again. I will. I don't think I'll be able to afford to live in the forest for our next home. Maybe the one after that, though. So, join my Patreon to help me move to the forest faster. I'm joking. I shared about my buzz cut thing earlier in the chat, but wasn't sure if you saw it or were interested in hearing. Oh, I didn't see, Maya. Let me scroll back and see if I can find it. Laura being indecisive with her hair again. That length would be cute, though. Lol. I think you mean farther back than that, though. I'm not seeing it. How far back was it, Maya? I see. Wow, we've been talking an awful lot today. There's a lot to scroll through. Oh, there we go. Trichotillomania. I got that. I understand that one. It's an obsessive, most common in women. I've been dealing with it for 7 years. Keeping it short prevents me from getting to it, but I always feel like I have to put makeup on or jewelry to look more feminine when I go out. Well, that sucks. I'm sorry that you deal with that. Totally. It's a form of OCD, right? Did you say that in there? I've heard of it before, though. That sucks. I feel like I did that when I was young. It didn't manifest into my adult life, but I did that when I was young. I would just like, yeah, pull out hairs, totally. And I'm sorry that you have to go through that, because it's not intentional. I know that. Like, it's like a nervous thing, or like a mindless thing. So that sucks that you have to deal with it. But also, buzzing your hair, if it keeps you from it. Is there anything that you can do to make it less impactful on your life over time, Maya? Or is it something that is going to be there forever? You know what I mean? Like, is it something that can be managed eventually? Like, would you ever be able to grow your hair out? Yeah, hardly anyone knows about it, even docs and therapists. And yes, it's anxiety related too. So if it's anxiety related too, like, are there meds for people with OCD? Because like anxiety, there's meds for it. Like, you know what I mean? Are there ways to improve your situation? I'm not saying ways to make you different or whatever. Just if that's something that's like a side effect of another thing you're dealing with, then I wonder if there's something that you could be taking that would help. But also, Ben's right. Buzz cuts are cool now, so that's cool. At least you can be edgy and fashionable. You know what I would say to do? If you feel like you have to feminize to go out to feel confident, get yourself a pair of earrings that dangle, that stay in all the time. Like easy dangle earrings, like the ones that like twist on in the back so that they are going to stay in your ears all the time. That way you can just have a feminine earring that is always there, that makes you feel like, for me, having my earrings in, even though they're not like, they're just rings, it makes me feel a lot more feminine when I have all my earrings in versus when I have them all out. I feel a lot more androgynous looking. When I have all my earrings in, I feel very femme even without any makeup on. So something you might try. Might be worth a try. It also might be worth it to, I've done different types of therapy too. Some people deal with it lifelong. There's meds, supplements, etc., but I'm super sensitive to meds. Well, it still might be worth discussing with your doctor. They might be able to start you on like a baby dose, like 1/5 of what they would normally prescribe, and see like how it goes for you. Yeah, I like rings and necklaces. I always feel like a dangle earring is too much with my short hair. Not a big dangle, just like something that dangles like this much. Like a little. What I usually do is I will get like a charm. I have these rings I don't take out. I just never take them out. But I'll put a little charm on my first ring, and the charm will hang down about 1 centimeter, but it still adds a little dangle that femmes me up. And Ben, she shaved it because she was a minimalist, and it's easy for maintenance. And it looks good, I must say. When she visited me, when even went to the barber shop together. That's cool. That's so cute. That's nice that you have a relationship with her. Even though she's so far away, that's very sweet. MGK had a model with a shaved head in one of his videos. It looks so good on the model. Some people look good with the cut. Yeah, some people have the head shape to totally just rock it. But I understand if you're not going for androgynous, but you have a shaved head, there are ways to make yourself, to femme yourself up, with a shaved head, totally. And unfortunately for you, feeling like you need to put on makeup every time you go out doesn't sound like fun for me. And if that sounds like it's not fun for you, then I would totally recommend just getting a mildly dangly pair of earrings. Nothing too dangly, just a little dangly. Super easy to maintain, totally. Good morning, Alcy. Nice to see you this morning. Contessa, I went from long hair to a pixie about 12 years ago. Grew it out because of the pandemic, ready to go short again, but it's not low maintenance. Requires commitment to get it cut every 3 or 4 weeks. Well, the shaving, the buzz cut is easier because you can do it at home. But totally, if you're getting a pixie cut, that's where like someone has to know what they're doing to make your hair look that way. Whereas for me, it was just me taking Alex's trimmer for his beard and shaving my head with it. High quality haircuts I was giving myself. Dangling earrings also touch places on the side of your neck and touch your special points to make you feel sexy. Oh, true. I didn't even think about that. They do touch those points on your neck. The points that feel really good to get kissed. That's a nice way to think of it too. I've been told I have a nice head shape, so that's nice. Well, that's good that you have a nice head shape, because that could have gone horribly wrong. Baking a lime cake and brewing coffee here. You guys are invited. Thank you, Renata. A lime cake. Well, I'm having some pineapple upside down cake. I'm going to taste the flavor of the cake and see if it's just a white cake. I think it's just a white coffee cake. Still good. Trying to keep it PG. Well, you did a good job keeping it PG while also giving a good picture of what you meant. So well done. Rue, I feel that, Contessa. I've been trimming my pixie ever since the pandemic started. I've been getting better at it. I might just continue cutting it myself. That's what happened to me. I started cutting it myself, and then I was like, here we are, and now I just haven't had a haircut since the last time. But it's so healthy. My hair is so healthy. Like, I want to show you the ends of my hair, because who has hair whose ends are nice? No one. No one but me. Look, no split ends. Okay, probably some split ends, but like not, look at how healthy the end is. It's like not torn up. I'm very proud of my hair right now. Not that it's something to be proud of, just the fact that I haven't bleached it and destroyed it. I don't think I've had my hair this long unbleached in 8 years, I think. 7, 8 years. Oops, sorry. That was probably really loud. Sorry. Let's just get me looking all cute again. Like a lady from the 40s. There. Looks good, Laura. Thank you, Maya. I think so too. I'm kind of super into it right now. And look how, seriously? Like, look, it's like, if I look up and pull it down, it's like this long. It's obviously not that long, but you know what I mean. It feels long. I've realized I like my hair up and out of the way, so I'm growing it out so I can fit it all in a bun on top of my head. I do like having it long enough to put it all up out of the way, I will say. That's the one downside when you're growing it out, is when you put it all up, not all of it goes up. I love your hair color, so shiny. It's shiny because I haven't damaged it. The hair color, meh, it's just my natural hair color. I mean, thank you. I appreciate your compliment. But I never felt any kind of way about this hair color because I haven't had it. This is like the first year I've had my natural hair color since I was like 11. So this is the first time of me experiencing myself with brown hair, because when I was 11 and I started dyeing my hair was bright blonde. And then I grew up, dyed it a million times, shaved it off, and it came back a brown. But it is totally so shiny. It's so healthy right now. Anyway, thank you. Kyla, have an expert professional do your makeup. Don't bother buying it if you don't wear it. What? What did I miss from Kyla? I don't see Kyla's message here. Well, you should have seen her in the barber with jeans and riding boots and a cargo short and black leather jacket, and she went for a number 1. Just take it off. Kyla, should I buy makeup for my wedding? No. I would rather donate the money to a child in the community who really needs it. My fiance says he loves how I look without makeup. No. Yeah, have an expert professional. No, don't even, if you have a female family member who has makeup, or a male family member, I don't know. If you have a family member who has makeup, borrow their makeup, or go to Sephora and have them put on mascara and lipstick and blush and bronzer for your wedding. For photography reasons, use blush and highlight. Even if you don't wear makeup, having a little bit of a highlight on the top of your cheek, it just makes you look like you're glowing and like you're really happy. So you'll be super stressed, you know, during a wedding. So having a nice highlight on the top of your cheek will make you not look as stressed. And also having a little bit of blush will just like brighten up your face. If you only would wear 3 things to your wedding, I would say blush, highlight, mascara. That's all you need. Waterproof mascara, because you're gonna cry. Obviously, he loves how you look. It'll just jazz you up for the photos, because eyelashes don't show in photos. Like right now, I'm not wearing mascara, and it looks like I don't have eyelashes unless I go like that, and then you can sort of see them, but I don't look like I have them at all. For photos, it's nice to have some cute eyelashes. I give up makeup and hair dye as a gift for myself for my 48th birthday. That's awesome, Contessa. How's that been going? Have you not worn it since? I only wear, like, the things that I like to wear now. I used to wear the whole face of makeup, and now it's like the things that I like putting on are blush and highlight. I enjoy putting them on. And I don't enjoy putting on mascara. That's why I don't wear it very often, but I love how my eyes look when I wear mascara, so, you know. I believe in self-care. I used to wear makeup. I found out about mica and human trafficking in India. Yeah, mica is bad news bears. If there's mica in your... Mica and there's another one. The thing that's in baby powder. Silica? No. Is that mica? No, it's not mica. Mica and talc. Mica and talc, both bad news bears, unfortunately. So if you see mica and talc in your makeup, probably there was slavery involved to produce it, even if it says fair trade. It isn't. So that's a bummer. But if you can find or borrow a highlighter and some blush and some mascara, you'll be golden, totally. Isn't mica used loads in soap? Mica is a very, very soft stone that has a shimmer in it, which is why it's often used in makeup. I don't know if it's used in soap. Probably it's used in soap because it has a shimmer, which would be a nice texture to add to your soap, but it's a very soft stone. A soft sedimentary? It's a layered stone. I don't think it's sedimentary. It's not igneous. Is it metamorphic? I don't know now. Also, talc is super carcinogenic, which is great that we were putting it on babies for when they had open wounds on their bums for baby powders. Great. Put the carcinogens straight into the open wound. Good idea. Kyla, mica is a mineral deposit. Oh, it's a mineral deposit. I just know that we have mica veins here in the escarpment, and when you find the pieces of mica, they like peel. You can like peel a thin layer, like a translucent layer off of the mica. It's very interesting. That's so crappy. How are we supposed to keep track of all this? Yeah. People still are. Oh, great! My baby powder is now cornstarch based, which is fine. It's cornstarch, and somehow it's coconut oil in there, even though how does coconut oil end up in baby powder and work? And she added some hair. Oh, hold on. Another time she was wearing a maxi dress and combat boots, and I told her, I always see you wearing boots. And she said to me, well, boots it is. And she was laughing. And she added, and some hairy legs. Oh, I did that for when I was at the Byward Market selling my purses. I went probably 6 months without shaving my armpits or my legs because there were a whole bunch of like hippies working there, and I got sold by their whole don't shave. And it was so fun to have more armpit hair than Alex. You guys were here for that too. I did that again during stream time. There are streams where I show off my inch-long armpit hair. 2, 3. I shave my armpits now, but I mean, it's fun to experiment and see what your body actually will do, which is what I was doing. I was like, if I don't shave my armpits, what happens? Because I've been shaving them since I was like 11. I've been shaving everything since I was very young, like younger than is necessary, I feel. And so I stopped and I was like, I just want to see what my body looks like if I don't touch it at all. What do I look like? And it's like not that big of a deal. It's like not very much hair that grows in my armpits. It's not like uncomfortable amounts. It doesn't make you sweat more. There was nothing wrong with it, you know. Laura, use food grade cornstarch. I have a brand that uses cornstarch and coconut oil, and the coconut oil, it says, is fair trade, that I use for, I use it for when my hair is greasy, baby powder, to just put a little bit in my hair. My armpits quit making hair. Same with my mom's. There's just no hair there. Lucky. I honestly shave only a few times a year. I stopped shaving regularly a few years ago and never went back. Yeah, I don't shave regularly anymore. It's not necessary. Most of the time I'm wearing long pants, and also when I'm not, I don't care about who's seeing my legs, you know? Like like maybe when I was interested in attracting people towards me, it was one way, but I'm not. And I don't care how other people see it. So if I have hairy legs, it's not going to stop me from wearing shorts, you know what I mean? It just doesn't, you know? I find I sweat less with my pit hair. Yeah, I totally found that too. I found it was totally comfortable, and the only thing was that I found that since it wasn't something I was used to, it was something I would often reach for. Like I would be like, I can't believe that's there. I can't believe I have armpit hair. So it took me a while to like just have it be part of my body. But yeah. And it's not like you stink more when you have armpit hair. It doesn't make your sweat stinkier. There's no negatives to it. Grow your armpit hair out, ladies. If you've been shaving your armpit hair, grow it out. Give it a shot. See what your body looks like. It's winter now. You're going to be wearing long sleeve shirts most of the time anyway. So if you have some shyness around people seeing your armpit hair, just try it. See what you look like without any impact from society. Grow all your hair out. I definitely sweat with more hair. Well, I don't think so anyway. I mean, I wore deodorant still, but I didn't recognize that there was any more sweat than normal. Boy hair is so incredibly normal, but so strange. Body hair is so incredibly normal, but so strange, especially in this society. Yep. Super bizarre. Weird that boys never got pressured to shave their legs and armpits. Men's armpit hair? Just saying. If we're not grossed out by that, why is it so gross if a girl does it? My legs and armpit hair stopped, but my nostrils and upper lip took over. I definitely delete those. Yes, I think that will be the case for me too. If my facial hair starts to grow in older age, which happens to a lot of women, because your hormones change, so you end up with less progesterone and estrogen as you get older, which is why we go through menopause, because our hormones are like, I'm over it, I'm not going to be here anymore. So that means that the balance is off with our testosterone. Like everybody has testosterone, estrogen, and progesterone. It's just how much of each you have. Uterus folks have more estrogen and progesterone. Testicles folks have more testosterone, right? So if you're having a imbalance of hormones to the point where your testosterone is higher relationally than it used to be, then yeah, you have the opportunity to grow some upper lip hairs or some long, weird chin hairs that are out of nowhere, and nostril hairs and eyebrow hairs. So you may find that your hairs on your face grow more when you get older, as someone with a uterus. But totally, I think I will yank those bad boys out, because they're not like, you're not getting a beard, you get like nipple hairs. They're just like sparse. They're not something that are covering your chest, but they exist. So there's that. Yes, I'm in body hair. Agree. Also, if you've never tried it, woohoo, it feels way better with hair there. Yeah, also, saves a lot of time in the shower. Yeah, definitely give it a shot. That's my recommendation. If you've not done it before, don't knock it till you try it. Because body hair is a scam, so you might as well not engage with the scam. Lol, nip hairs. The random dark black hair that shows up every X amount of months in the exact same place. I'm not the only one. I used to feel embarrassed about it, and I can't be the only one who has a random dark nipple hair that shows up and exists and has to be yanked out. That's me. TMI? I don't think so. I think it was just the right amount of information for you. I think I'll try not shaving my pits, see how it goes. I'll probably go back to shaving it though, which is fine. I went back to shaving it, but I went for a good chunk of time without shaving it. It's just good to know, it's nice for like, when you're doing when you're in the portion of your life where you're learning to accept yourself for exactly how you are, I feel like it's a good practice to not shave and to give yourself a break from makeup and give yourself a break from all the processing you do on your hair, even for just a while, just so you can like be like, this is what my body is. My body has hair in a bunch of places. My body has, you know what I mean, just all the things. My nip hair feels acknowledged. Well, it takes a long time before people are confident talking about that, and when I finally brought it up with my sisters, we had like a whole like, oh my god. And then I was talking with one of my friends about it, and it's just not something you talk about. And then, yeah, the lonely single black long nip hair, totally. It just, why is it black? My arm hairs are blonde. My leg hairs are blonde. Even my armpit hairs are like not black, but she's one random thick black hair, and she needs to get yanked out every 3 months when I notice. It's like, it's not there. How is it a full centimeter long? I haven't even, I see myself all the time. How did I not see it? Totally. Yeah, normalize it, totally. The melanin in the follicle is unique. I guess so. Rebecca, my 3 dark upper lip hairs, just the 3. The ones that I have, one nose hair that grows out and around instead of in. It just grows curled the other way. I have one eyebrow hair that curls like that, so I have to pull it out because it doesn't follow my eyebrows. Why are there hairs that don't comply? I just want them all to comply. 2 and 3. Like, I have like, for the amount of hairs that are like on your arm or on your legs, my thighs have like 1 hair for every 5 hairs there are on my calf. You know what I mean? Like my thighs, they just were like, we're not gonna make nearly as much. You never show us anyway, so we're just gonna not make any. I love this convo, hilarious and so real. But it's true. It's just like having 2 different sized boobs. Nobody wants to admit it. But girl, my girls are not the same size. I even got, okay, here's a little TMI. Keep this to yourselves. I got my nipple pierced when I was younger because one of my boobs was way smaller than the other, in my opinion. And then that boob like doubled in size, so now that's my big boob. I was like trying to help myself out. Now it looks even more lopsided to me because one of them also has jewelry. Anyway, I had breast reduction in 2010. They remove your nipple and recenter it when they're done. Now my nipple hairs just grow just under my breast. That's interesting. That's so interesting. Does that mean that the nipple skin is under your breast then? That's weird, but also cool. World is weird. Yeah, mine are not even. Yeah, they're not even. They're just not. They're never gonna be because they're not meant to be because they're 2 different things. They're supposed to be close. Sisters, not twins, right? I pulled a long nose hair from my daughter the other night. Oh, gosh, gives you tears in your eyes, doesn't it? I think she has body hair again because she's a minimalist. I wonder why she told me about it even though I did not ask. Because when you're doing something weird and fun, you want to tell people about it. Not even, nope. Wait, they just take the nip off? No, they cut around it and then reform your boob and then sew it back in, right? Like they're still using your nipple as a nipple, right? Yeah, for being such a hairy person, the fiance not minding, we have such intimate moments. We've had such intimate moments. Oh yeah, totally. I know exactly what you mean, Kyla. But I think I'm also lucky because Alex is like a mature adult man, so like the hair that grows on my body is not like he's not a teenager who's gonna be like, ew, can you shave? Like it's still my body when we are interacting with one another's bodies. If there's hair on it, if there's not hair on it, it doesn't make a difference. It's still my body he gets to interact with, and that to him is a glorious blessing. So there is no complaints. And I've asked, like genuinely, like if it bothers you, I don't mind having it get rid of it. Oh, the big toe. Am I totally Rebecca? The big toe. Why does it have dark hair on it? I don't. My foot doesn't. My legs don't. The big toe? Absolutely. Now you guys are gonna have this weird, hairy picture of me in your head. Ew, I def shave my big toe. I do shave my big toe. 1, 2, and 3. Yes, they cut the nip off and set it on a plate until they're ready to put it back on. Oh, they fully remove it. I obviously misunderstood that. I thought that they just disconnect it from your boob, but they leave it connected to your body, like where it should be, and then they're like, we'll come back to you later. Rebecca, big toe hair is the worst for me. Isn't it weird? It's weird that it's so annoying to us. It's because it sticks out. Because none of the other toes have hair like that. Why don't our thumbs have hair like that? Like our big toe on the hand. I think I've heard they're not, but I don't know. Are nipples still sensitive after breast augmentation? Right? I don't know. Probably not as sensitive because there would be scar tissue involved, right? My arms have the same policy. It looks like I keep them shaved. Yeah, my arms are hairy, but the hairs are blonde. So like, I don't think you'd be able to see them from there. But it exists. See? They exist. There's hairs on there. They're just blonde, so they're not super visible. I would hate to be sensitive in the upper region because of a surgery. I want to leave it all intact no matter how it looks. Oh, I would hate to not be sensitive. Yeah, I mean, I think though breast reduction is not the same. Like, you're not doing it because you want the look to change so much that you want the weight to change, right? Like, breast reduction is good for your back. Like, it's like for your health more too, right? And the weird one longer hair under my belly button. Alex has a hair that grows on his cheek. I mean, I know he's a man, so he can grow a beard, but it's like he has his beard, which goes like from here to there. But then there's like a hair that grows like a full 1.5 centimeters above any of the other hairs. And it's like here. It's too far up to be a chin, like to be a beard hair. This is now cheek. So yeah. Right, but I mean altering nipples. Oh yeah. My mom shaves her arms and it just seems like too much work. Yeah, too much work. Not for me. I could not be a hairless wonder because the amount of time it would take to prepare my body for that is just... Also, when hair grows back, it's not comfortable. And the weird one, long hair, right? I like my arm hair, nice and blonde. Mine is like soft, so I don't mind it. I mean, I have shaved my arms before, like when I was in high school, because I thought that's what you were supposed to do. But then when it grew back prickly, I was like, oh no, I'm not having prickly arms. I already have ADD. I can't have something prickly to deal with as well. Nope. Absolutely had to get reduction. Wish I had been able to 20 years sooner. I had major issues about it on a tiny body. Oh, Contessa, that's awful. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you had to go through, like, that must have been painful on your back. If you did it 20 years later, you definitely would have had a whole bunch of time where you had to experience the pain. So, yeah, that's not ideal. Anyway, moral of the story is body hair is natural, body hair is good, body hair is beautiful, and also remove as much of it as you want to. You know? And sexualized me because my figure when I was just a little kid. Yeah, that's not fair. That's not fair at all. And I do like the whole self-care process of shaving, exfoliating, shower. Yes, that's totally, even though I've said all of those things, I do like exfoliating, and I like shaving, and I like moisturize. I do like having like a full bath, like self-care, and I will shave during that. But I mean, like, I'm not gonna shave every morning in the shower. That's not what I'm gonna do. I don't have hairy anything. Dawn works for me. But not all the time or every day. Yeah, Maya, totally. Like, it's like, if I'm doing a whole self-care girl day, yeah, I'm probably gonna shave literally every inch below my neck. But for the most part, on a regular average Wednesday, I'm gonna definitely not gonna do that. The nether regions. In the Netherlands. Oh no, that's a place. Oops. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, body hair is not dirty. Yes, true. We have a strong waxing culture here. I'm used to it, but it can be pretty annoying. Yeah, I can't wax. I bleed everywhere when I wax. My legs bleed, my armpits bleed, my nether regions bleed. Nothing on my body appreciates waxing. I'm sure over time that would go away if I kept doing it, but every time I've gotten a wax, it has always ended in, it takes me like a week to heal from the waxing. No, Laura, not the same, lol. Yes. Lol. But yeah, waxing's not for me. I just don't think it's a thing that I can subscribe to. People who can do it though, I would love to have perfectly smooth legs when I shave. Like, there's always going to be somewhere that I miss or somewhere that's not perfect. Kyla, I've heard that too. When people have a firm preference for nether regions to be bare. I'm trying to use words that the algorithm isn't going to catch and flag. There are people who have the preference for nether regions to be completely bare, and totally, that is a weird thing to want as an adult person. Sure, it can be a fun, novel thing, but it's a weird thing to want because that's not how adult bodies are. That's how young bodies are. Very young bodies. And if you are exclusively attracted to something that is bare in a location where on an adult it would not be bare, you might want to look at your preferences and make sure that you're not fetishizing youth in a way that is unhealthy and illegal. If I do anything to my leg hair, it's waxing. Rip it off fast. My hair on my legs is too fine, so the wax always gets left behind on my skin, even if I go to a waxing person. I've actually been refused waxing services more than once because they'll do a strip off my leg and they're like, it doesn't work on your hair. Thanks. So I just went through this whole pain, and I grew out my leg hair for weeks so that you could rip it off, and now you can't rip it off, and there's wax stuck to my skin, and I'm bleeding. Great. 1 and 2. I never get a smooth shave anymore. My legs are always prickly. Right? It's like when you're hot in the shower and you get a smooth shave, and then you get out of the shower and you get goosebumps because it's cold outside of the shower. Now your legs are prickly. Well done. I use sugar wax. Oh, I haven't tried sugar waxing. Is that going to change my life? And she told me that now she only has jeans, the maxi dress, and the leather jacket, and the combat and riding boots. All this after her husband died. Wow. And sounds like a fun time. Anyone else ever tried the epilator? That's the one that zaps you? Or is that the one that yanks out your hairs differently than a waxing does? If a man has that preference, I think he's preferring someone who should not be sexualized. Exactly. Yep, that's what I mean, is that if that's what you want, then you should really rethink your preferences there and double check that you are not a bad guy. No, I just thought it sounded healthier, and you can catch and you can wash and reuse the strips. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, because sugar dissolves. Bunch of tiny tweezers. Melanie, that would be a hard pass for me. That's like worse than wax. That's like slow waxing. A bunch of tiny tweezers. Yikes. The things we go through for literally why? So stupid. The media. The media is toxic. It's bad for our mental healths. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'll use an epilator. I wax first though, otherwise there is too much hair. Ow! Oh, it's super fast. I don't know. I don't know if I could handle it. Maybe I could handle it on my underarms. I don't think I could handle it on my legs. Ouch. It makes my skin bleed. Oh, then it probably wouldn't work for me, Renata, because my skin bleeds when I wax. So if that's the case, then I'm probably not going to do well with an epilator. I wish there was like a tiny epilator for eyebrows, like so that I could go draw over the edges of my eyebrows just like with a pen and have it just pull out the things as I do it instead of having to go get waxed or to use tweezers. I would like to just be able to go like beep 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 beep. Wouldn't that be awesome? Do you have pseudofollicles? Pseudofolliculitis. I don't know. Let me Google what that is. Pseudofollicle. How do you spell follicle? Oh, that's a thing. There you go. It's all one word, by the way. A foreign body inflammation reaction surrounding ingrown facial hairs which results from shaving. It can also occur on any body site where hair is shaved or plucked. It's also known as shaving rash or razor bumps. Yes, absolutely. I just call them ingrown hairs all the time. Let me see. Follicles become inflamed. Let's have a look on the Mayo Clinic, what they think it should... Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah, that's me. Not the severe kind, but like the little red dots. Yeah, totally. I didn't know it had like a medical name. I just call it like ingrown hairs or razor burn. Laura, there is. Is there? My future mother-in-law bought me a woman's electric shaver. I don't nick myself anymore. I think she was trying to tell me something when she got it for me. Is that something that you used to do? Did you used to have nicks all down your legs or something? Ola thought I was too whiny when I used the epilator, so I did a piece of his leg, and now he's quiet. You're like, ow, ow, it hurts, ow, ow. Then why are you doing it? Because I have to. Have you guys tried turmeric soap? People say it makes body hair thinner. I've not tried turmeric soap. Does it make your skin turn yellow when you're using it? Because turmeric stains. Does your bathtub turn yellow when you're using it? Or your shower? Turmeric is like a superfood, isn't it? Because it's like in everything. You can use it for everything, it feels like. Anyway. Yeah, turmeric. I don't know why I'm still tired. Like, I feel like I need a nap. I slept. Is your hair curly or grow in different directions? I don't think it's curly. I don't think it grows in different directions. I don't think it's not curly. I wouldn't call it curly. And it doesn't grow in different directions either. It follows the grain. I had the old-fashioned zero waste razor. Not fun to use when overweight. I nicked myself all the time. Okay. I used to always get my ankles when I shaved when I was younger. Now I don't. But I used to. And it was always like the worst because you would get those razor cuts that were like somehow deep. Like you'd shave out a chunk of your skin. Anyone else? Gosh. It was hard. Being young was hard. Being a teenager and getting body hair It was hard. If I ever have a daughter, I will very cleanly and clearly be like, you don't need to be doing any of that. It's like so not necessary. No one looks, no one cares. And I know that they won't listen and they'll still want all the things to do all the things. But I think I want to somehow, if I have a daughter, foster it in her that, like, your eyebrows are beautiful the way they are. If when you're 30 you want to change that, go for it. But, like, you're 11, changing your body permanently right now is just, it's not going to serve you long term. Cut your hair. That's fine. Dye your hair. That's fine. But maybe wait on the tattoos and piercings. That being said, I started getting pierced way too young, so maybe I'll let them get pierced whenever they want, because they could take them out. But maybe wait before you make any permanent changes to your body until you're, like, done puberty. Like, why are you trying to lose weight you're in puberty? Your body is literally growing right now. Yeah, you have extra fat because you're about to go through a growth spurt, and that fat is going to redistribute to other areas of your body. So don't try and lose weight, or else you're not going to get boobs when you finish puberty. I wish I could have said something like that. Yeah, I know. You know what stinks? I wear glasses and I always miss spots shaving in the shower. Oh, right. Well, you gotta use your hands in there then, except for then you risk cutting your hand. Has anyone else done that? When you go like this behind your razor and then you accidentally get your finger? Just me? Okay. Like I said, my 10-year-old mentioned her leg hair last night. She's 10! She's 10! Like, a 10-year-old should not be... Why does a 10-year-old need to shave? Because shaving is to expose your legs to sexualize yourself. A 10-year-old does not need to be sexualized. Why is the world making, like, basically child stuff for this process? Like, she's 10. It's just not... It's frustrating because, like, the world and the media and the world is telling her that this is what you have to do to be a woman, and, like, for some reason a 10-year-old has to be a woman because that's all the media is all being like, you are 19. Everyone is... We're marketing as though you're all 19, but they're selling things for grown-ups that grown-ups don't even need to children. Like, she should be playing in the mud, not worrying about if boys notice her leg hair. Why should she have to worry about being sexualized at 10 years old? She shouldn't even be worried at all about her... A 10-year-old shouldn't have to at all feel any feelings about their appearance. I don't know. I just feel like a 10-year-old should never feel bad about the way they look. It doesn't make any sense, because they're 10. You don't even look how you're gonna look. When you're 10, you don't look how you're gonna look as an adult. You're just like you're growing. You're not done. I don't know. I hate that. I hate that for children. And with all of the social media that's available now, they're seeing way beautiful, modified people. These beautiful, but not real, beautiful people, and they're thinking, like, I'm 10 and I'm supposed to look like this 21-year-old model. It's like, dude, you literally are a baby. But also they don't want to hear that, obviously. A 10-year-old doesn't want to hear that they're not a grown-up. They think when they turn 16, they'll be a grown-up. And then you turn 30 and you're like, you were so small. I told her that I'm not ready. I think that's fair. Did she accept it, that you're not ready? My peers all shaved their legs. My parents were not excited. They just mildly discouraged it. I don't think I ever asked my parents to shave. My older sister started shaving, and I started shaving. So that's how it started. Like, maybe my sister had that conversation, but I didn't. I never had a conversation about if shaving was a thing or not. Yeah, like, wait till 25 when your brain is an adult, please. Right? Like, everything. Everything, wait till 25. There should just be, like, a rule. Like at birth, there is a reversible sterilization, so everyone is sterile until they hit 25, and then you can apply to remove your sterilization. You know what I mean? Like, hi, I'm looking to start a family. I'd like to remove my sterilization, please. And then you can, like, get your fertility back. Like, everything. Just stop making life decisions until you're 25, and then go ahead. Shave your legs, get pregnant, whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? Just let people be young for longer. They don't need to be grown-ups when they're not grown-ups. You have so much time to be a grown-up. You don't have a lot of time to be a young. The first time my body was sexualized, I was 6. I was told my skirt with shorts underneath was too short at school. I didn't even understand what that meant. Yeah. Yeah. First time I was sexualized. I'd have to think on that one. She still plays with baby dolls. Exactly! Why do you need to be holding a blade in a slippery, wet room? I don't need you to be holding a blade and putting it on your body when you're in a wet room and you don't know what you're doing. Go play with your dolls. Watch Hollywood, not a hair on the men other than on their head. I was really put off. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. That sucks, Melanie. Yeah, definitely, it does. And kids in junior high would talk about, I knew I was doomed to date anyone. I was doomed to date anyone from school. I just wanted sweetness, not fake intimacy. In high school, everyone would talk sex. Yeah, I was a virgin while everyone else was losing it. Same, Kyla. Same. Everyone was always talking about sex-related things, and I was like, very much still believing that I would lose part of my value if I had sex. You definitely don't lose any part of your value. If you are ready to have sex, you should have sex. But with a consenting partner, obviously. But yeah, I was not ready to have sex, and I believed that I would be genuinely like hurting my value as a human woman if I had sex while in high school. Obviously that changed because that's not true. Your value does not change based on your partners. You are not a piece of tape that sticks to each of your partners until you're not sticky anymore and no one wants to use you as a piece of tape. Ugh. Which is what the Christian schools did. Stickers. Everyone got a sticker, and they got to give it to someone in the class, and then you'd take it off the first person and put it on a second person, and by the third or fourth person, it's not sticky. Who wants to use a sticker that's not sticky? Oh, okay, I'm just something to be used, and once I've been used 3 times, I'm no longer useful? Great, thanks. That sounds great. That's really healthy. Also, it was very focused on the girls. Like, the value loss didn't seem to be directed at the boys, so their value was not changed based on the number of partners, but my value would be changed based on the number of partners, which is so frustrating because it's not true, and I could have had so much sex before I met Alex if I had just not believed that. Like, I missed out on partying in my 20s and getting it on with all the sexy guys in my university because I thought it mattered. The number of people, I thought it mattered. How many people? I thought if you had 5 people, you wouldn't be able to find a husband because he wouldn't want to be with someone who had been with 5 people. Like, I genuinely thought that. Not true. Not true at all. If you're attracted to someone in a good, loving relationship and you want to, you don't have to do it if you're in a loving relationship. Obviously, you can do whatever you want. But if you are in a space where you feel comfortable with someone and you want to do it, you should do it. It's not like, Jesus would not care. Jesus would literally not care. If Jesus was real and Jesus was watching, he would not care who you were having sex with. Did you murder someone? No. You're fine. Also, Maya, of course, be safe. Wear a condom if you're a boy, or a girl if there's girl condoms, but I didn't have to deal with that. Let me see what people have written. Respect, Laura. It was like a competition to lose it or something. I know, right? Boyfriends, girlfriends, not for you, I say. Not a 10, jeez. The girls' clothing classes talked about giving their boyfriends... What? I felt so out of place. Wow, that's how they taught you about it? That's not okay. Yeah, I know, because that's not how anything works. And rather than talking about the act of sex itself, they talked about it like an abstract thing and how it affected you as valued as a human, which is not true. Obviously, still be safe, but no, the number of people doesn't matter. Exactly. I waited until 19 when I was comfortable enough with myself. I'm 30 now, and I regret nothing. I waited until I was comfortable, but I do think I could have been comfortable earlier if I didn't have the preconceived notion that it was going to alter my value as a human. I mean, my body count, which is what it's called these days, is very low. very low. And that's fine. But like, I think about like my friends who had their party time when they just explored. I didn't do any of that. I didn't explore. I have only been in monogamous relationships, which is, again, I'm happy. But if I have a daughter, and I would not want that for her. I'm happy and everything worked out fine for me, but I would not want my daughter to connect her value to her vulva. Those are not connected. Your value is inherent. You are valuable and beautiful and perfect the way you are. And if you want to have sex with 10 people, you go for it. If you want to have sex with 1 people, go for it. Just be safe. Be safe and make sure that if you're going somewhere that you've not been before, someone knows where you're going, always. Even if it's not me, if it's your friend, if you're going on a date with someone, you text a friend or family member the location of the date and the person you're going with. That's, I don't know, that's just the things I would do. Same, Laura. It wasn't sex ed. No, it wasn't sex ed. It was I don't know, it was in the sex ed class. That's what that was, but it wasn't sex ed. I'm waiting until I meet the right guy who I trust and will respect me. And that's wonderful, Maya. That's awesome. I did that. Once I felt comfortable, it was okay. But once I felt comfortable and it was okay, I was like, oh, this isn't as big of a deal as, like, it's exciting, but it's not going to change the trajectory of your life. Like, it's, I don't know. High school was not my time. My mom implied she'd forcibly marry me off if she found out I did anything, so I was definitely afraid for quite some time. Yikes. I'm happy with the number of sleeping partners. Good. I'm glad. It wasn't until college I did anything. Hi, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Lita. Good morning. Yeah, high school relationships can be a lot. I was never in one, but all my friends were having all this drama. Yeah, I had a boyfriend through most of high school, and it is drama. It's very... because you're going through all your hormones, right? So your feelings are bigger and stronger than ever else in your life. So when people say like, oh, it's just puppy love, like, get over it, you'll find a new boyfriend. When you're in high school and you're dealing with those emotions, it's not. Your life is over as you know it. Obviously, looking back, I like chuckle at my high school self being like, oh, I thought we were gonna get married. I thought we were in love. And like, obviously we were in love. We were in high school version of love. And it was a lot of fun while it lasted, and then it wasn't fun. So you shouldn't continue in high school. Kyla, I wish I knew my fiance then. He would have saved me from these people. Yeah, that would have been... made me uncomfortable. They would brag about it. Ugh. Yeah, we had the braggers and the teachers, not the teachers of the school, the people who were bragging about their sexual escapades in high school and teaching the rest of the girls how to do what they learned to do. Gosh. It's a tough time. High school's a tough time. That's for sure. Even if you have friends and whatever, it's a tough time socially and emotionally. It's a lot. There was no spiritual aspect to the conversation with my peers, just shallow conversation. Yeah, there was no spiritual aspect with my peers, just the sex conversations. But in my school, there was no sex conversations. There was, this is the STD you will get if you have sex, and if you have sex, you have lost value. I remember one teacher using the example of the minute you drive a car off, you go into the parking lot and you see all of these beautiful brand new cars and they're worth $1 million, and you drive that car off the lot and it's now worth only $50,000. Keep your car new as long as you can. And I was like, you mean my vulva? You're talking about my vulva as a Corvette? Okay, cool. That's not what it is, but thanks, you know? Rue, my state is one of the few states that gives comprehensive, but many don't. Yeah, many don't. Here we also have free condoms, but the government cut off sex ed from schools, which is great. That sounds super. Sounds healthy. That's how you stop teen pregnancy. Stop teaching teens about what happens when you have unprotected sex. Teenagers are going to have sex. They just are. They need information. I hate all those analogies. It just keeps comparing people. Let's be real, just women, yeah, Rue, to various inanimate objects. Yes, we are belongings to be taken off of the parking lot by a man, like, ugh. This is vulva class, not Volvo. Thank you, Melanie, for making it funnier. Corvette was not as funny. Did you mean vulva? You said Volvo. You were talking about cars. I think you maybe bring it back to the conversation about what we're talking about here, Professor. But obviously, as a teenager, I like wanted to hide my head in the sand hearing those things. My fiance waited at 36 to be with me. Aw, that's nice, Kyla. Yeah, well, everybody has different directions, different lives, different choices, you know. She has a motorcycle. Oh my gosh, Ben, I feel like your aunt is probably a cool person. She's a vegan hippie living in the north she sounds like she would fit into this community, honestly. You should tell her about the stream. I feel like she would fit in really well here. Does she do any crafty things? Like, is she a witch also? Because her vibe is very witchy. Frida, what's scary? The sex ed thing? Yeah, it's really uncomfortable. Yeah, it's definitely uncomfortable. It's definitely scary that kids are not getting any information because parents don't want to talk about it with their kids. That's another thing. I think it's going to be an open conversation in my household. Something that they can ask questions that I can answer. Like, I don't know. My sisters and I do that. We talk to each other and ask questions, and we have like a statement at the beginning of the discussion, like, we're not thinking about each other having sex here, okay? The advice you're giving me, I'm not going to imagine you using that advice. Okay, good. And then we have our conversation. And that's helpful. So I'll just do something like that. Don't think about me and your father, but tell me what you're wondering. Lol, I got a book. Right, you got like an actual education book, though, that had information in it, didn't it? President thinks that with no sex ed and a Bible, he will stop teenagers from having sex. Has that ever worked, ever? No. Yes, please do that, Laura. I had to Google search my way into finding things out, which means you probably ended up on explicit websites that are not good for education. Learning from an explicit website how to do passionate and intimate acts with someone is never going to work out. It's just not. The internet is not going to teach you properly. Alex actually told me when we started dating that he learned a lot of what he learned in university because he was in psychology. He had a psychology degree. Before he met me, he did a psychology degree, and he said in his psychology degree there was a sex intimacy and relationships class as part of psychology. And he took it, and the teacher was like teaching sex ed, but to adults. So the teacher, she was like teaching what is good, where it is good, why it's good that way, and would have the students explain what's good, why it's good, where it's good, and what isn't good, or what didn't work for them. And basically it was kind of like, see, everyone's different, but there is a lot that overlaps, and if you know where the good things are, you can aim for them and have a really good experience. And it was like also talking about how communication changes things, and what's it called? Enthusiastic consent changes things. So it's like all this. He had a really good education, which was great for me. But yeah, he said he really enjoyed it also, and he enjoyed hearing how the professor would talk about her own experiences, and it was like fun to listen to while also getting really good information. Good morning, Jessica. Nice to see you this morning. Let me see. Ruth, I was thankfully able to avoid those sites. Good. Like, have you heard the lock and key analogy? Memes and stuff that taught me a lot of unhealthy stuff. I haven't heard the lock and key analogy. Not how I see it though. I waited to be with the right person, which is my fiance. It took waiting 9 years. Same with my ex-husband. He waited to lose it to me, but he was an emotional cheater, hanging out with female coworkers at late parties. People call me a cherry picker. I don't think so. I think if it works for you, it works for you. Laura, well, that sounds fantastic. I agree. I went through a lot by waiting for the right person. I mean, yeah, I bet. My mom started asking me if I wanted to be on the pill. Did I need condoms? I was not interested in sex at that point. I was well beyond getting my diploma before I became active. You know, I think she's a vegan minimalist, not a hippie. I don't know. I feel like those words are fairly interchangeable. Don't you think? Vegan minimalist? Hippie? I feel like they hang out with the same people anyway. I don't think my parents ever asked me if I wanted to go on the pill. I had to go on the pill because my period stopped when I was 15, and then I went on the pill when I was like 16 because they couldn't figure out why. They were like, you have polycystic ovarian syndrome, but we don't know why that made your period stop, so we think you should go on birth control so that you can have a regulated period. And I was like, okay. So I was on birth control for like, when I was 16, so like 4 years, 3-4 years before I started, before I entered the Coliseum, entered the ring. Well, she's more of a loner. I mean, she lives a lot on her own. A lone wolf in the Canadian North, living in a cottage. I bet you she's a witch. And I say that with peace and love and with good vibes. I appreciate her if she's a witch, but I bet she is. If you live alone in the forest, you definitely walk in through the forest a lot, you know? I'm gonna go get cake. I'm gonna regret it later. No, you won't. Yeah, I hate when people have to add weird terminology to being with the right person. Instead of cherry picker, how about finding a soulmate? Yeah, sorry, I want to have a emotional connection with the person that I want to be with. I feel that way. I don't think I could have a one-night stand. I think it's exciting, the idea, but someone who doesn't know my body, exploring my body with the intention of only doing it for one night, no, not interesting to me. That does not sound like a good time. I mean, I guess the excitement of the experience would be fun, but like the actual experience itself, I don't think that that would make sense to me. I mean, I guess you could get lucky and have a one-night stand with someone who knows what they're doing. But even if you know what you're doing, you don't know what that partner really likes. And like, why would I want to have a mediocre experience at a club or a party or something, you know? Again, no shade to you if that's your jam. It's just not my jam. Yeah, she likes hiking and mountain climbing, and she drives her motorcycle and likes yoga, but well, do nothing else. Do not think that she is a witch. No, not in a bad way. The word witch is used wrong. I mean like an herbalist, someone who walks around and finds something in the forest and then makes tea from it, or someone who, not a witch the way that you think like an evil witch with a hat and a broom, not like that, like a, more of like a, what would be another way to describe it, friends? You know what I'm talking about. I think she's more of the G.I. Jane sort. Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so maybe she's not a witch then, fine. No, does def not sound like a good time. Not to me, anyway. Talking about periods, what do you think of Diva Cups? I'm using for a year and was my best 2020 decision. That's awesome. A nature witch. Exactly, Renata. And Renata, you should have been here a couple of days ago. We actually had a whole conversation about cups because I was saying, this was yesterday, I was saying how I want to switch to the reusable pads and reusable underwear. I haven't used the Diva Cup yet, but it's definitely on my list, or whatever the other cups' names are. But yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad it worked for you. It's something I'm interested in trying, because I'm definitely over the single-use pad lifestyle. It's not for me anymore. I think it's lame. Hold on, I need to make sure I have the right amount of rows. Again, I almost went around. I have cake. My stomach is not gonna bother. She's also become celibate. Whoa. That's a big step. Kyla, I would, oh, okay. I was like, it was like good karma came after, and I saw him years later. He looked lame and sorry. I felt dirty for years. That's awful. I'm sorry that that's something you had to experience, Kyla. There is no reason for that to happen. I hate that for you. I hate that that happened to you. And I hate that that person isn't rotting in jail somewhere. But I also know that that's not really realistic in most circumstances, that they get locked up forever. But I am glad you were able to avoid them for years, but I hate people when people hurt people like that. Like, that is so violating. And I am really sorry you had to go through that. That's not fair. But I am glad that you found your husband and that you have a good life now. I'm more empowered now. I'm glad that you're more empowered now. But also, it makes me sick to my stomach knowing that that happened. It makes me sick to my stomach knowing that that happens to people at all. But also knowing that it happens to someone in our community is awful. I have no empathy for them either. Yeah. I would recommend buying those panties for her when they start, Rebecca, because then she doesn't have to have the embarrassing thing, which is like part of it when it happens, when it starts to happen, right? The embarrassing piece. If it's black underwear, the only embarrassment she's going to have is her own internal embarrassment when she wipes. It's not going to be like a, oh my gosh, look at what's in my pants, you know what I mean? It'll just be like, well, it happened. Look at, I've got 6 granny squares now. 7 granny squares now. I'm going to make another red one. I was dating, and then that happened. I didn't want, but this guy knew the cops. I had no voice. Yep. That's what happens. That's how it goes, is it's either someone you know, or it's someone who has enough power to shut you up. And that is not fair. And you were a child, 19, 20. You were a child who wouldn't have had all of your wits about you to deal with any of that anyway. Like, a 19-year-old has not got this, I hate that. I hate that that happened. I hate people. It's just not, I don't understand. How can it even, I don't understand why someone's brain could go through with an act like that. Because that's not, like, wouldn't, the way that my brain works, wouldn't you feel disgusting as a person who did that? You know? And then I wonder, like, do some of the people who do that really think that they didn't do anything wrong? Like, they wouldn't classify themselves in that category? And I think there's a lot of men who wouldn't classify themselves in that category, but definitely have done it. I'm doing all the sounds and questions in my head with you, Laura. You hang out with a group of people too long and we start acting like each other. My apartment was broken into. Ew, Dawn, that's awful. I was surprised to learn they were married. It's just disgusting that that kind of person is allowed. That kind of person is allowed. And that you can't screen them out. They've got to do the act first. Jeez Louise. Dawn, that's awful. I'm sorry that happened to you. I've been very lucky. I've been very lucky to not have experienced those kinds of things. But still. Men in power. I mean, I'm sure there are women too, blah, 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 but let's be honest. Who's doing these types of crimes? Men. It's men. And people who are like, meh. It's mostly men. I would wager it's so mostly men. No justice in the matter, but I can still hold my head up high. I'm glad you can still hold your head up high because you deserve to, because you did nothing wrong and nothing was taken from you except your power, which, I mean, I don't mean nothing was taken from you. I'm not trying to minimize what happened. What I'm trying to say is your value was not changed by that. Your value remained the same. That happened to you and it was awful, and I'm really glad that you're on the other side of it and you have a good relationship now, but also none of your value changed. You have always been the person you are now. So Kyla, I'm really sorry. You guys, Dawn, I'm really sorry. Any of you guys who've experienced who don't want to share, that's totally okay. Anybody who's experienced this type of thing, I'm just not using the words because I don't want the YouTube algorithm to suppress us, you know? But totally, Maya, you deserve love and you are worthy, and nothing about your value changed from that act. Somebody else's value changed a lot from that act. The person who committed it, their value decreased to 0. Their value as a human being decreased to 0. Not they have value, oh, they donate to charity, oh, they're a father of 2. Their value is 0 as a human being. If you commit an act of violence against another human being, your value is 0. So his value changed. Your value didn't. You were obviously impacted by the act, but your value has remained high, and you're on the other end of it, and you are so worthy, and you deserve all of the happiness. And I'm saying this to Kyla and to Dawn, but I'm saying this to anybody. I'm saying this to everybody. You deserve love. You are worthy of all the things that you want and all the things that you hope for. And it doesn't count, like if you're someone who does consider virginity something of value, which no shame to you, I just don't feel that way anymore. But if that is something that you feel is connected to your value, acknowledge that what happened was not sex. You did not lose virginity in that act. What happened was not sex. What happened was violence against your body. It was not. If it was not a consensual thing, it did not. It doesn't count. It doesn't count. And they should burn. I have no sympathy for people who commit violence against women. None. It took me so long to get through college, so much macho, hacho, vibrato in here in Fresno, trying to move out of this city, but was hard to even get my education. At the time, I was just terrified. I was a wreck for a long time. Anxiety was a beast. Yep, he was married, had kids, and doesn't deserve anything. Doesn't deserve anything that he has. It's vile. Anyway, now that we've gotten so dark, trigger warning, apologies, I didn't even give a trigger warning. That got really dark, and if that triggered anyone, I'm really sorry. I don't want to bring up trauma that you didn't want to think about. If you've now thought about trauma that you are trying not to think about, I genuinely apologize. I didn't even think about that in advance. I'm really sorry if I've brought something up for you that hurts. That's not what I want to do. Please, like, leave the stream at this point and, like, go and separate yourself and, like, heal from what just happened. I apologize. But also, should you put a trigger warning in the title? I mean, I don't know. Maybe. I hope to be a public speaker regarding this. You should. If I put a trigger warning in the title, yeah, I could put a trigger warning in the title, maybe in the description, though, because it's not the whole stream, you know? It's just, like, this portion. Jeez Louise. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. it got a little deep there. So why don't we pivot and get back to some Christmas and get back to some jollier tidings. Let's I just wanted to end it with you are worthy and I love you and I see you, and that's what I got. But I think we should transition because I don't want us all to be hanging out in a dark cloud. We are here to make each other push each other up and make each other feel more and better and stronger. So let's do that, I think. Sometimes we have to talk about these things too. We're not hiding these things. Just hugs and love, everyone. Exactly. We're not hiding any of it. We can talk about it. So if you have things to talk about you want to bring up, it's welcome. Just, it's not always. Let's move on, but it doesn't negate the seriousness of the emotions and situations. Absolutely. Thank you. I am not in the Christmas spirit yet, Rebecca. Is Thunder okay? He's been solely quiet today. It's because he got 4 walks yesterday. We went for a late night walk as well, and then we went for a walk this morning, so I think he's just tired. Thunder. You sleepy? Are you a sleepy boy? Are you cozy in your blankets? Hi. You're a good boy. Why are you winking at me so much? Blink both your eyes, dude. Both of them need blinks. Just blink in one eye. Okay. My family's doing a real tree, I think. This aunt who is 55 and I, who am 28, have some kind of flirt. Oh, interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, if she's like your mom or dad's sister, I would probably say don't go for it, because that's weird. But if she's like the husband of your mom or dad's sister, I mean, then I guess that blurs the lines a little, question mark. I would say just don't engage with that, probably is a good idea. Because, you know, family, there's a lot of like taboos around family things, so I would recommend not doing that. Ben. Favorite ornament? I don't have one. Tree, we're doing an artificial tree because my grandpa already has one, and because I'm not buying a tree, because I'm not buying things to bring into this house. There are too many things I do not need to add. My kids might be expecting a Christmas, and I don't know how doable that is. Well, maybe start to temper their expectations now then, Rebecca. Maybe say something along the lines of, I think this year we should do, and like say like, we should do some handmade gifts for each other. I think it would be a good way to remember that Christmas is more about family and about being together. So I think that we should do some baked goods or some type of crafts for the Christmas energy and have it be more of a home-focused Christmas. Like, I know they're kids, so they're probably like, I want a Nintendo DS, I want an iPad, I want an iPhone 45, like all the things, but maybe you can temper their expectations early by saying, I think it would be a great idea for us to do a different kind of Christmas this year, you know? Yeah, that's what I would recommend. I mean, what do I know, but that's a fun way to get them engaged in arts and crafts, which is good. Make them think about what someone might like that they can make or do. You know, something like that. An iPhone 45, can you imagine? It'll be here, Maya, someday. It'll come. We're just not there yet, but it's coming. It's always coming. iPhone 45. They don't really need anything, but they always want something. Rebecca, why? Well, yeah, they always want something because they're kids, and they think that money grows on trees, and it definitely does not. And it's also hard to do a full Christmas in the world that we're in right now. I totally understand that. Christmas is always tough. It is a tough time for lots of people too, which is so weird that it's become so commercialized, considering that most people can't really afford to just blast off at this time of year for all of the unnecessary things. If there's anything I want for Christmas, it's what I have now. Kyla, that's lovely. Yeah, I think I have everything I want this Christmas. I just have, really, it's just all I need for Christmas is Alex. I know that's like gushy, but it's true. As long as I have him and food, and I'm gonna be set. I don't need gifts. I don't need decorations. If I have the love of my life, we can walk around downtown and see all the Christmas lights and talk about how romantic it was when blah, blah, blah. Memory talks, those are the good ones. Lol, it snowed like an inch here and all the Ontarians are getting into smash-ups. Oh my god, calm down. Calm down, it's just snow. Why have you not put your winter tires on yet? You should know that by this time of year, you should be wearing winter tires. How are there people getting in accidents when it's, every year it snows and it's like Canadians are like, it snows here. My dude. It snows all over, it snows every year. Also, how Santa is real if there isn't many gifts. How is Santa real if there isn't many gifts? Oh no, true, you've got young kids. Ugh, that would be a tough Christmas to be like, by the way, it's been me, you know? Well, you know what you could do? You could say that due to the way the world is right now, Santa's doing stockings this year. So since Santa isn't doing gifts, he's doing stockings. Your stocking will be filled with Santa's stuff, but this year for gifts, let's do it for each other. Something like that. My parents do that now. There is no gift. I mean, we're adults, so not great. But my parents do it as there are no gifts from Santa, but Santa does the stockings. So that's how we do it. I think they know, but the youngest is 8. Yeah, and also it's not for you to tell them, it's for them to find out. You know what I mean? Like, parents don't have to have that sit down with them. Kids are going to find out from classmates and whatever. Oh, Candace, true. My favorite ornament is a crocheted Christmas tree I got in a card. Absolutely. It's in my Christmas box. It's just not going to get opened this year because I'm not opening things that I don't need to open. But I think that's probably a good thing, like, because of the, like, or a good thing to do. I saw a joke, if you're broke now, might be the time to tell the kids that Santa didn't survive. Oh, God. Being an adult. Well, yeah, but that works for, it works for our family to do it that way, that stockings are the Santa gift. It used to be Santa gave one gift and it was always an unwrapped gift. Like, you wake up in the morning and there was an unwrapped gift from Santa and the rest are from mom and dad. But I don't know, making it that Santa is doing stockings this year, I don't think that would break their hearts, you know what I mean? Like, I know that you're trying to, like, keep their childhood innocent, right? Like, that's, like, your vibe for it. That's why you're concerned about not, like, ruining Christmas. But I would say, if Santa does the stockings and you get them, if you do stockings, in my family, stockings is always like, it's like deodorant and toothpaste and chocolate and magazines and candy and dollar store sunglasses and what else? I had a brush, like a hairbrush in mine last year. What else did I have in mind? Alex got gum. You know what I mean? Frida, your comments make me laugh, so thanks for that. What did Frida say that I missed? Kyla, my robot vacuum is cleaning. Very good. Frida, I saw a joke. Oh, I got that one. Stockings are the best. I love my stocking. Maybe Santa's delivering vaccines. Santa could be delivering vaccines. Or he could be delivering vaccines and all of the Christmas gifts. So this year he just switched over to stockings because it takes up less space than all of the gifts. You do that. I don't know. I think that they'll understand if you have a reason why it's going to be different. I would just say it's something that you should amp them up for beforehand, because if you don't say anything and then Christmas is different, then they'll be disappointed. But if you amp them up for the new way beforehand, then they can be excited about the new way it's going to be. because kids like to get excited about Christmas, you know what I mean? Like, what is it going to be like? What's going to happen? But if they have a bit of a picture that it's not going to be like last year, it's still going to be fun, we're still going to be together, but it's not going to be like last year or the year before, where it's a new, different way now. As long as they know, I think that they can prepare emotionally. I didn't have Barbies and other things. I never asked for anything. My extended family who adopted me would get me pajamas or a watch, just what my biological sister and I needed. I feel like I was pretty spoiled. My parents, my mom is like obsessed with Christmas. She's not obsessed anymore, but she was very Christmas focused in the wintertime, so it was a thing. They got so much last year. Yeah, well, that was last year. Things were different last year. It's a different time now. That's for sure. But yeah, I was pretty spoiled as far as gifts growing up. But I also had a mom who loved Christmas, so she would wrap every item that was a Christmas gift, every item that she would have given us the month before that we needed, every item that we might need. Like, she would get us shampoo and conditioner. We all lived in the same house. We were kids. Like, if I get shampoo and conditioner and my sister does and my sister does, it's all gonna end up in the shower in sync. You know what I mean? Like, it would have been bought by her and put in the, like, not linen closet, the closet that's in the bathroom, that kind of thing. But instead, she would wrap them up individually, so we had shampoo and conditioner to open, or we would have underwear and socks, obviously, and things like, gosh, just anything that was a gift that wasn't necessarily considered, like, other times of year, it would just be purchased by my parents and put into the bathroom type thing. That kind of stuff would be gifted because it was stuff that we like, but they just usually kept it in stock, and at Christmas, it was a gift, you know? Having a safe and stable roof over my head meant so much. It still does. Yeah, totally. My cousins were super spoiled. They had so many Barbies and plastic toys. They had so much and still didn't find joy in what they had. Yeah, well, I feel like we used to get, like, one gift that we really were thinking of and wanting, and the rest of the gifts were really mostly, like, functional items. Maybe not when we were very little, but there's always, like, a lot of Christmas presents under the tree, but it's when you open them all up, it's like there's the shovel for the car, you know, or the cleaner thing for the car. Like, they're things that you don't want to buy for yourself, so they're very appreciated, but also they are functional, useful items, and lots of chocolate. I love the baking of cookies, decorating, and gingerbread houses, buying for a family who had nothing. My parents do that every year. My dad delivers like a box of things to a family, a local family. I thought he was doing it through a charity, and now it turns out it's not through a charity. He just has been doing it for, like, a lot of years since the father or the father either left or died. I don't know the scenario, because it's private, obviously. But it was something I only found out about, like, last year or the year before, because my dad was doing the delivery, and I was like, where are you going? He was like, oh, just doing the Christmas delivery. And I was like, oh, someone bought cookies from Mom? And he was just like, no, this one's like a family that we do Christmas for. So it's got Christmas dinner and gifts for the kids. And I was like, well, that's a nice thing that my parents do that no one knows about. That's just because they're good people, not because anyone's watching. So that's kind of cool. Dawn, my mom is the baker in our family. She bakes she bought a whole freezer a couple of weeks ago. She got a freezer, like a stand-up large freezer, just for her baked goods, because they live on a farm, so they obviously have another fridge freezer in the barn. Not obviously, but they have that. But it's for food too. So now she has an entire stand-up freezer just for baked goods. And at Christmas time, she makes thousands of, what are they called? shortbread cookies with jam in between them and a maraschino cherry on top. What are those called? I can't remember the name. I know that some people call them Empire cookies, but that's not the name I'm looking for. There's another name, and that's the one my mom uses for them. My grandpa would know that name too. Anyway, she makes thousands of cookies and squares at this time of year. And then she makes boxes with 30 squares or cookies in them and then sells them. And they always sell out because everyone likes having an assortment of homemade cookies and squares. Being healthy, having support, a fiance, a wedding coming up, a surprise wedding, heirloom ring for the wedding, college education, it all means a lot. It is good to be grateful for the good things that you have. So I'm happy that you found stability and joy in your life. An heirloom ring, right? I want to see an heirloom ring. That's the part that I read. I think someone wanted to play with me. I'm surrounded by dog toys. Oh, does she keep bringing them over to play with? That's cute. I showed him a picture of it. My hubs wants one of her upside down cakes. That's what I'm eating today, is one of her upside down cakes. They are very tasty, I will say. I feel like it should be called upside down coffee cake though, because it's like it's like a very dense cake. You see? It kind of looks like a dense bread, but it's a sweet, it's like a coffee cake. Pleasant. That's so cute. Like a pound cake, yeah. Like a pound cake. 39th wedding anniversary. Wow, that's amazing. Had to do lots of growing together. Totally. Well, yeah, when Alex and I started dating, I was 18. And he was 22. I am now 29. So it's a lot of growing up. We did a lot of growing up together. But we grew together instead of growing apart, so that was good. Make over and up. Hi. I can't believe it's still there. Oh, what are you saying? What did Frida say? You still haven't eaten the cake? Well, I don't have a hot tea, so I can't eat the cake if I don't have a hot tea. Oh my gosh, it's 1 o'clock. I have to go. Why did no one say anything? My first half of the day is done. I have to get to my second half of the day. Oh, today was a good stream, huh? Lost track of time. Oh, excuse me. Okay, I love you, friends. Thank you for coming. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to be back tomorrow, same time, same channel, same place. So if you had a good time, come back tomorrow at 9 a.m. I'm going to be here. But also, don't forget to like the video before you leave if you don't mind. Click the like button. It helps me. It helps the channel. And it's free. And if you are feeling extra jazzy and you want to do something nice just because sometimes people like to do nice things, then leave a comment on the video after the stream. I would really appreciate it. The channel, the algorithm gods really like when there are comments on videos, and I'll reply to them. So if you ask me a question or say something, I'll reply to it today. Thank you also to all of my patrons. I really appreciate having you. And if you'd like to support me on Patreon, definitely check the link in the description below. Okay, love you guys. Bye! See you tomorrow!